It was like it got me spooked though.
Is it a scary game?
Yeah, it was scary. You're
Dude,
basically.
we should just play a scary game later.
I do, but I also want the lights off. It
I'm
was
a big,
super. It was like midnight when we were playing it.
I'm a big coward. I don't like to play scary games. I like watching.
Really?
I don't like playing.
I mean, I guess I never really played a lot of scary games growing up. The scariest
I
one.
didn't either. Oh, we should talk about that because I'm playing
scary
Resident
games?
Evil 4 right now.
Oh, really?
The remake.
I thought about getting it. I've never played Resident Evil though.
It's not that scary though.
Yeah.
The reason I was thinking about that is because if we do end up playing Metroid Prime later,
Which we will.
that first there's a lot of
Don't spoil it.
If
I
you
gotta
want to talk
play.
about two of some of my favorite all-time games is Metroid Prime and Resident Evil 4. Those like
Really?
character
Is that
defining
your
me as a kid.
favorite?
they're both really
Name your
good.
top 3 favorite games, bro.
Armored Core 4 answer, Dark Souls 1,
And
it's gonna be a tie between a bunch. Probably like Half-Life 2, Metroid Prime, Resident Evil.
the thing is though, you play a lot.
I do. I game a whole lot. A
Like,
little too much. Like,
ever
it
since
was-
I've known you,
I think
for
you-
like,
you
like,
kinda have
even
to put it
through,
into
like, school, it was like
categories.
deprivating to education and stuff. So
I'd be like, "Hey Vincent, we're gonna go hang out," and you were just like,
let
"I'm
me
gonna go play
CS:GO
I'm gonna go play
or
CS:GO.
Counter Strike. Yeah.
What was that one you're into? Crisis or something?
Oh my god.
That was like the one you. I remember.
It was
that
so
like, my
niche, too.
very,
Yeah,
very
Crisis
fond
was dope.
memory
It
of
had
yeah.
this amazing like Battlefield style multiplayer, but it was sci-fi.
Well, that's the thing is like people think I'm super into games,
No.
and I'm not. I get that like all the fucking time.
I mean, you
It's the cat
play,
ears.
but you're not like
I think
you're not on
it's-
Discord with the boys playing games every night.
No, I kind of want to, but then I'm like, no, I don't really.
It's quite amazing.
I just rather. I don't even know what I do. Play guitar. I don't know. What about you, Daniel? What's your top 3 favorite games, buddy?
I was thinking about it. Borderlands 2.
Can I shit on his?
Yes, absolutely. I've never
You
played
can't, I don't
Borderlands. All I know is it has that weird.
You don't have to like it. I'm not saying
It's a wrong.
objectively it's the best game. I'm saying it's one of my favorites.
That's
Mostly
fair, yeah.
because of the time period that I played it in.
Yeah, you do have to take that
Like
into
I really
consideration.
just
Yeah, I'd
love
agree.
that time.
It's the
of my
same thing
life.
for like anime and stuff.
It was just college. I went and this was back when GameStop still did their midnight releases, and
Those
nobody
were
else
so sick.
nobody else like wanted the game. It was just me, I think, because I played Borderlands 1 a lot, and I played that with Noah back in high school. I would always want him to get on and play, and he'd always get on at like 9 o'clock, and then I'd have to get off at like 10 and be like, I remember being so
Why
mad
would
at
you
him.
get off at 10?
Because I had like a bedtime. Or just my parents would. No, my parents would just.
Oh my god, dude.
They come be like, you gotta turn that off.
So you went to
I mean, I
bed at
stayed up
10
way later
o'clock?
than that,
Oh.
like watching TV and stuff, but
But your rooms were like next to your parents though, right?
it was upstairs.
How old were you?
They would know.
at this time.
This is like high school. They just make me get off and go to bed.
16, 18. Did you ever do that, Vincent? Because I never did that. I went to bed at like 2 in the morning.
Yeah,
1 or
always.
2 in the morning.
I think I had a
Yeah,
bedtime
well, how'd you
until
do in
about,
high
like,
school?
Terrible.
How were those grades?
Mine were
I had,
I
uh-huh.
think Jets grades were
My
probably
Dude, I
better
was-
than mine.
GPA 3.16.
Oh, you did better than me.
I had a 2.7. I was
Mine was probably like, I don't know. I
was terrible.
don't know what it was. I remember what it was in college, but I don't remember what it was.
The
in
thing
high
is,
school.
I should have applied myself more. I probably would have gotten
I was
pretty good
dude.
grades.
Even when I went
Oh,
to
yeah.
bed on time, I was still so tired.
yeah, I hate that. I had to wake
I
up
would nap like in all of my classes.
in my vacation, which we can get to after I name my favorite games. We had to wake up so early. By so early, I mean like 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 or 7. And I was so tired. And all I could think about was this reminds me of being in high school and just being that tired constantly. And I was like, how do you function with that? You
it
know?
was the worst.
It was so bad.
I remember I got in so much trouble at school for sleeping in class that I almost got kicked out of the school because I accumulated so much like disciplinary like points in our school from sleeping in class all the time that I was like on the verge of being like suspended.
Ours were like, if you get 60 points, you're immediately expelled.
Mhm.
And if you were tardy, that's 3 points. So like, it wasn't that hard to accumulate points. Yeah. So I mean, they'd kick you out pretty. It was a
Did,
private school we went to.
Did you fall asleep like with your head down, like
Oh, yeah.
on your arms?
I
I always
remember-
hated when you would like you like fall in your dream or something.
and you'd like wake up falling.
I never fell asleep in
You
class.
did you ever do that?
Mm-mm.
I don't think I could fall asleep. I have trouble sleeping a lot.
One time I was we had like a in between period of like 30 minutes where we could just work on whatever we wanted to. and I fell asleep. And our lunch was right after, and like my teacher woke me up, like, and was like, "Hey, everybody!" And I looked around, and everybody's already gone, and my legs were just dead asleep. Like, and I didn't realize it until I tried to stand up, and I was like groggy from like my nap.
Jeez.
And I almost like tripped and fell.
Was that like high school or whatever?
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I don't know how I functioned back then. Just being like, it's so weird too because it was so long ago, but I just feel like a completely different person now. You know what I mean? Like from when I was back then and stuff.
Really? I don't feel that
I
different.
do. Yeah.
Well, not like
Not
Different
personality, but just like I
Feel
guess
older?
maturing is what you're talking about.
yeah, because I'm still like the same. I don't know, the same but different kind of.
I feel more responsible, maybe.
Yeah, maybe that's
That's
it.
all. I don't feel any different than I did back
But I still stay up till 2 a.m. I still
don't.
do the same
I
thing.
want to, but
Well, you have to wake up early.
Yeah.
Like my job last night, I got off at 11:30 p.m. Then I spent 3 hours watching The Last of Us.
now granted,
But you don't have to wake up early.
I
here's
go to
where my
work at,
old
like,
habits
4.
come back in. If we're having a lot of fun online,
It's
like
hard to-
last Thursday night, I
You're
stayed up till like
late.
1 when I go to bed at like 11,
That's wild.
and that's late for me. But on
11's
weekends,
late.
I'll stay
Yeah.
up till like 2 to 4,
Damn.
and then just get back right in my
Well, you wake up at
schedule.
like what, 4, 5, 6, 1 a.m. What time you wake up?
Oh, I always wake up 8 regardless of what time I go to bed.
Jeez.
8 to 10.
Fuck that.
Today I woke up at like 9.
That's why I enjoy working late. I rather work late night.
No.
I see the appeal of working late, and I like it too. But that's also when majority of people that I know are getting like
Yeah.
they're off work, so I
Yeah.
can't hang out with them.
Like I can't hang out with Dean.
Mm-mm.
I just can't see him really.
I don't think that's possible, regardless.
Yeah, I don't think so.
He
either.
also sleeps a lot in general. Him and Cole sleep a lot. Cole sleeps a whole lot,
I believe it.
especially on weekends. I don't know how people sleep so much. I wish I could. I think,
Probably that job he has.
yeah, but he also
Super
like,
stressful.
yeah, he is moving up in it too. But he keeps refusing to move up more, and I don't know why.
Because he doesn't want to be a cog in the machine. No, he doesn't want to be what he hated when he was.
Down below.
That's the
Yeah.
he was at
thing,
the
dude.
start.
It's like you despise these people up above you that are really like so.
No, this is
disciplined.
what I hate is that everyone always says like if I was in charge, things would be different.
And then
But
when,
then
they're
when they
actually
immediately get in charge,
it's
it goes
ain't-
the
yeah.
exact same way.
Yeah.
Because people suck. That's why I don't think I'd ever do like managerial stuff and whatnot.
I mean, I wouldn't mind at our place, Daniel, being in charge. I don't think I'd do anything different either, though. It's
I mean, I don't
I
think,
think it's
our.
fine, it's
I don't
ran
think
out
our
as-
like direct managers are bad. so.
no, they're not.
well, my
I can't
manager's
speak
not
for
bad
yours,
either.
but mine's
Some of
not.
them might watch this, so I love them. But if I was in charge, I'd do things
What would
differently.
you do differently?
Fire everyone.
A whole new crew.
Yeah, and then make them
Hire computers instead.
Yes, AI. My top 3 favorite games, since you only named one, which is Borderlands 2. So I
Modern
guess it's
Warfare 2 and
Call of
Metroid
Duty.
Prime.
COD 4.
Wait, yours is didn't you say Metroid Prime?
Metroid
That's
Prime.
why
Dude,
we
I-
were talking about this. We
Mm.
both share that like love for
Back
the
in the
original
day,
Prime.
man,
He
on
likes Prime
GameCube.
1 more. I like Prime 2 more, and we hate
Prime
each other
1's way
for it.
better.
Oh my god. Donkey Kong 64.
I can't believe
I don't think I ever
That's
owned it.
It's an
my
amazing one.
favorite game. That game's so good.
That was like the first game I actually sat down and like played for hours on end.
Banjo Kazooie, maybe. I really like.
I didn't like
Banjo-Kazooie.
that one that much. Sorry.
Jingle. That was amazing. Why
Yeah.
didn't you like
It's pretty. I mean,
It's
it's
all
fun.
rareware. N64 was just
The thing is
rareware.
that when I was like 8, I played Donkey Kong 64, and I was like last year I played Banjo Kazooie. So big age difference from when I like found out about them.
They're very similar, aren't they?
Yeah, they're pretty much the
I've
same
never
game.
played Donkey Kong 64.
Donkey Kong just has apes in it.
Also, Donkey
why I
Kong.
like it more.
no, Donkey
Big
Kong is
difference.
like an insane amount of like collectibles if you compare
It's
it to any of the others.
stupid, but
I
I,
think-
like long games.
I think what did they say the average run time? Hey, intern, can you look up the average run time of an N6 of Donkey Kong 64 playthrough would be?
My second favorite game, Guitar Hero 2. Dude, I
Donkey
fucked
Kong
that
64.
game
Hero
up, bro. I
is one of your
love that fucking
favorites?
game.
Dude, no,
Is that
playing
a bad
Rock
take?
Band in Brandon's
Rock Band is
old
pretty
room
fun though. I wish we
with
could
all
play
the
that again.
boys.
Oh, we
Dean
can.
yelling about his dad. Michael.
Dude, I remember when I first started hanging out with Cole.
It's about like a
Um,
30-hour average playthrough.
Yeah, it's stupid because you have to go through. That's like 100% though.
No, that's 30% or 30 hours is just average, like main story, not extras and everything.
You
Or
have to.
26
It's like
hours.
5 different Kongs. You have to collect like 6 different shit, like throughout the
Yeah,
whole
you have
game.
to like play the same
Keep
level over with, like, a
constantly,
different Kong.
switching back and forth.
Yeah.
There's
It's so
actually
much
a
fun, though.
recent breakthrough in speedrunning for that game. Before you, the speedrunners, I didn't follow a lot of speedrunning, but I saw like a recent video about how they broke through and cut the time down a lot. There's a bunch of bosses in the game, and you have to beat like a certain amount to be able to get to the last island to beat Key K Rule and all that. But some guy has found a way to, I guess, glitch past some of the bigger like walls where you had to collect a bunch of collectibles. So the speedrunning, I think, community just pushed the time down like a.
Do y'all watch
sizable chunk.
Games Done Quick?
Yeah.
If you don't, you should.
No, I
It's
don't know
really
what
good.
that is.
It's like a charity, but they
think
just
it-
have. I guess they have like the same people come. Every,
It started
or
in
it's like, There's like
2012,
categories and stuff.
Where like a small stream on Twitch where people basically were notified would be met up or just play online and just do speedrunning events for every single game you can think of. And then it just kept growing and growing on Twitch to where now they rent out conventions. It gets a bunch of viewership, a lot of money. All the revenue that they make goes to charity. There's some
pretty cool.
very funny moments in it because
Yeah, you should watch like.
you get a
most
bunch of, like-
awkward- Oh, it's
you get a
is
bunch of
that the
smelly
one
nerds that
is-
are, yeah.
Oh,
But
it was some
yeah,
weird game. I can't remember.
I can probably tell you exactly which ones you're thinking of because
Yeah.
I quote them with JD all the time. There's, I'd really prefer if you'd be quiet.
So confirmed Santa's number one helper is a squirrel.
I would really prefer if you would be quiet. But yes, you are correct.
That's it. That's the one. That's the one. That one is so fucking
That
good.
one is one of my favorite.
That one is.
Um,
It was this guy basically. He was doing a stream. He was like speed running on the stream. And
they
this,
have a couch when they play that
Yeah.
people can be a part of and have a mic and talk.
and
in
this
it.
one guy like kind of invited himself onto it and like kept trying to butt in and try to take the conversation and stuff.
He was trying to be
And
funny.
He was trying to be funny, and none of his jokes were landing.
And the guy
it was-
running the
yeah,
speed running
was like, "Shut
just,
up."
like trying
So
to be
good.
rude, or try not to be rude to him. And eventually the guy
That's
just
the
straight
dude.
up
You just
tells
have.
him.
Sometimes I think you just have to be mean. Like you just have to be just.
Oh yeah, when they're like
"Shut up."
socially inept like that,
Yeah.
there's no other way kind of around
There's
it.
people I don't know. There's people I've met where I'm like, can you just shut the fuck up?
They don't take a
please?"
hint.
Yeah, that's the thing
It's
is they
hard.
just miss the whole like idea that
I hate that.
I'm not into this
I
conversation.
hate that confrontation. Like confrontation in general is not so bad for me, but like that sort of thing where it's like they're not really doing anything wrong.
Yeah, but sometimes
Like
I
they
get my
are, but it's you just have to be mean. I agree
you feel
with you. I
yeah,
do
and
think
everyone
you
feels
do,
bad
but-
for them, but you're
Oh,
also
yeah.
like, thank
But they
you,
kind of
'cause
need that.
just
It's like an older brother telling a younger brother to.
you're
I
being
was always the
annoying.
youngest brother, so I think
Me
that's
too.
why I don't like.
Oh yeah,
doing
you
that.
both have brothers.
The younger ones.
Only child.
It shows.
It does.
No, I always get in my head. I'm like, am I? Because they don't know that they're being that annoying. So I'm kind of like, am I being that annoying to some people and I just don't know? I don't know. You know what
Do
I mean?
you think you're like? I feel really guarded in social situations because of that. Because my brothers used to just be relentlessly,
Yeah,
just like
I think
call
I
me
used to,
annoying or,
but now I know.
and I think I was. I absolutely was. But
well, yeah. I mean,
it
you're
left a
like
pretty
8
big
years
impact
old
on
with a
me.
bunch of. I mean, you're with them your whole fucking. Like we went on the vacation. I was annoying my brother. Yeah, I knew it. I mean, it's just like what happens. I think when you're with someone for so fucking long.
and just at that age, like you are. But some people, I guess, never grow out of it.
So some people, I don't think they have that social. They don't adapt that social skill or whatever. I don't know if they just never hung out with people. They just realize, oh,
Well, I
why
think-
is no one
you
my
just-
friends?
You sort of need somebody
know?
to tell you like.
Hey, you're being
I
an
think
idiot.
some
Exactly,
people
and
come
that's
to the
why you have
realization
to
like
just
you
be
don't
like-
have to say everything that
that's
is
why
coming into your brain.
I think there's a huge difference between people who grew up with brothers or just with friends in general, and versus people who didn't grow up with like siblings in general.
I mean, your parents could also kind of play that role, maybe.
Well, Vincent,
Yeah.
do you feel that way then, since you didn't have any siblings?
Yeah, absolutely. When I was younger, at least. Now that I've like had friends and you can bounce off like your opinions with somebody when you're younger if you have siblings.
Mm-hmm.
But siblings are like a unconditional friend. But with friends,
Yeah, you're stuck with
it's
them for
conditioned.
life.
Like you can screw a friendship when you're younger and lose
how
it
he
and
does.
gain it. So I guess you can learn it from that. But if you're not, there are people who don't make a lot of friends when they're younger. So I think there's a difference.
But how at this age, like they're around my age, how the fuck have you not learned the skill?
Oh,
That's what
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand.
They just didn't make any friends, I guess. Didn't talk a lot. Didn't bounce off their ideas. I think a lot of people live in echo chambers too.
Nowadays, yeah.
I think that's really bad.
Nowadays. Jesus Christ.
Nowadays.
Kids
Seven
these
thousand.
days,
Zoomers.
man.
Yeah.
Fucking Zoomers, man. But yeah, I would say Guitar Hero 2 is my second. And then third, I'd probably give to... Damn, I just had it.
Man, I remember I never played Guitar Hero, and I remember you bringing it to school, and I fell in love with it. And
That
I went
game
home and like begged my parents to get us one,
It's so
and
much
I just
fun.
played the hell out of it for like the next year.
Yeah, I like... God. I think the reason why I liked it the most is because like, it introduced me to a bunch of songs I just didn't know.
Yeah.
A bunch of boomer shit. Songs that I did like. And they had songs that like appealed to more of like a younger sort of audience too. Like in the later games they had like AFI and
Oh yeah,
Every
they had a
Time I
good range
Die.
of like
You know what I mean?
What was
hitting
that
a good
band you
age
went
group.
and saw that you were saying
Um,
was it from Guitar Hero 2?
Fall of Troy. Yeah,
Yes,
Mally invited me to
sir.
that. That guitarist actually is really insane. I didn't realize
I believe it.
how good he was, because I know he did a lot of tricks and stuff like in that specific song, and I've listened to his other stuff, but him live was awesome.
Yeah, from the
that was the
Fall of
one who was
Troy.
playing, who like at the encore played like Limp Bizkit, Slayer, just out of
Wow.
nowhere, just played it, like
pretty
would
impressive.
mix it into the song
Damn.
too. That was the cool part.
That's pretty sick.
It was really dope. It was hype.
Wow. I'm trying to think what 3 was. I don't remember. I'll probably think about it. Probably come to my brain in
I
a
could
minute.
list so many more games that I probably liked than.
Yeah, but if it was like if you only had to play these games. Oh, I know what it is.
Oh,
Pokemon.
if I own,
Definitely.
that's a completely different question though.
Soul Silver, I would rank as the top one.
Pokemon or just game?
Soul Silver, yeah. The remake of Pokemon
As
Silver.
like best game or best Pokemon?
Best Pokemon game, and then top 3 out of all the games I've ever played, which isn't a lot, by the way.
Soul Silver and
I don't
Heart
play
Gold
games.
were definitely the ones that got me super into Pokemon. Like I played it when I was younger, but I wasn't
Yeah.
actually allowed to play it.
How about
'cause my-
Pokemon Stadium?
That game's
Huh?
lit, yeah. Pokemon Stadium 2 I like more because of the mini games.
I never owned it,
only
and
played
I
the
wish I
mini-games.
did. I had a
Well, that's
buddy
where we
that
got.
played it.
We used to go play.
I played at his place.
Remember we used to do trivia every Monday night,
Mm-hmm.
and that was where the name came from, Broenza, because there was this
There
slow
was
bro
a slow bro
that
yeah.
was so fucking broken,
You guys
and it
had
would
to
just
shoot-
one shot us every time in that stupid fucking game. We couldn't beat it; it was too hard. And I looked up online; you had to bring in your own Pokemon to defeat it because it
Is
was
that what
that
you had to do?
broken. What would happen is they'd send out a Snorlax or something, and then it would use Metronome, and then it would use Hyper Beam, and just one shot.
And just everything.
Yeah. It's fucking stupid. And Metronome it just chooses a random fucking move. And Hyper Beam's the strongest move back then.
Is
So it's
Hyper
like,
Beam
okay.
a normal move?
hmm And then back then in the Kanto one, in Gen 1,
Is
If
that
you
is
KO'd
that
a
Gen
po-
1?
Mhm.
Okay.
if you KO'd a Pokemon, Hyper Beam didn't have to recharge.
Is Gen 1 does the typing still the same? Like could you just brought a ghost type and avoided Hyper Beam?
Maybe, but it's Metronome. So it was a psychic move, right? And then it was just a random pull.
Oh,
So I was
okay.
using fighting to beat normal, which is the only thing that can beat normal back then.
Yeah. It was the best. I mean,
And
I
then they
think
use
it's the
Hyper
only thing
Beam,
good
and it does
against
120
normal
damage.
still. Mhm.
And it's fucking, and then it doesn't have to recharge because that's what way it worked in Gen 1.
I didn't play a lot of that game, but
And also I learned too, because I got into really big into the meta of Gen 1.
Mhm.
I know no one cares about this, but speed back then was the biggest stat for crits. So the higher the
Really?
speed, the higher chance you have of landing criticals.
That's
which is why
crazy.
Tauros was so good.
that's actually really nuts.
It was stupid.
Yeah,
There was
no,
only
it
one
was
type
very
thing,
unbalanced
yeah.
back then.
Anyway,
See, I
let's
got
get off.
really into it. Yeah.
Let's get off Pokemon. But I remember when I first met you, you were obviously really big into video games, but I was like, you didn't like Pokemon. And I remember telling you, dude, you can't be this big
A
into
gamer
games. You
and
can't be a
not play
gamer if you like
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
I was never really that big into Pokemon either.
Yeah, and you let me borrow Heart Gold
Sorry.
I think it
Or
was
so-
Ruby.
or Ruby.
Ruby
and
or Sapphire.
I went through and played like every single gen after that.
Yeah, and then you got
and
better
got
than me.
really
at it.
addicted. Yeah, no, I
I was
got
like, okay.
completely addicted at it.
Okay, cool.
That's why I think Gen 5 is the best.
I remember
but-
being in this room and we were like going to sleep and we are gonna wake up at 7 in the morning and go buy X and Y from GameStop. You remember that?
Was
That's-
Nate here? Because Nate used to play that with me. I think it was that one, or it was right
Maybe.
after.
Is that when he told that really funny story that one night we can't mention
It might have been.
about a friend of ours?
Oh yeah, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
You gotta tell me
That
about
will
it
be in my memory
Drew-
for the rest of the time. But
I don't know if Drew cares, but he laughed so hard he like pissed himself from doing that.
later.
It was crazy. It was just,
Yeah, y'all gotta
pillow
tell me that
talk with
later.
the boys, dude. That's what I missed.
that
the
was
most.
pillow talk.
We used to
That
have
was
pillow
OG
talk.
pillow talk.
We would pillow talk all night, man. Just lay in this room and just talk.
Right over there.
We were like 24, 25 when we were doing this. So like,
Yeah.
I mean, we were like young,
Yikes.
still having sleepovers.
I don't know,
Anyways,
was it then? No,
I don't
it
fucking
was
know.
way before that.
Maybe 22,
X and Y.
23.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. Because I was in college for the past.
Dude, those years just are all the same to me. I don't know what we did.
X and Y came out in like 2015.
What?
2016? I graduated college in
way.
2017, and I played it in college, so it was before 2017.
It was before I went to college.
Intern, can you fact check me on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When did X and Y,
Yeah, when did X and Y
Pokemon
come
X
out?
and Y come out? Anyways, we'll look this up and then I'll tell my little
Yeah, we could
stories
be done
here.
with the favorite games.
Yeah, favorite game that don't really care. October 2013. So we
Even
just
earlier
yeah.
than I
That
said.
was right after we graduated.
Yeah, so we were like 19.
Yeah.
So we had that pillow talk then really early on. We were like 17 then.
Yeah. It was fitting for the time. Okay, don't.
It was okay back then
We were
to say what we
24.
were saying.
Yeah, 24 hours. Like, dude, there's.
Yeah,
no way.
but
I
come
was-
on. When we go on the PCB trips, we still have pillow talk.
Yeah, but that was a whole nother level. We were
I actually hated that last PCB trip.
Is that the one that I came to?
No.
Or is this another
That was the other one I hated.
one? I was about to say, I know you hated that one.
I hated the first one. Loved the second one.
I saw some Snapchats of that.
hated the third.
You
Hopefully
watch
I'll
them later.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I still need to make that video. Anyways,
You were so upset.
I'm so behind. Oh, in the first one, I was really
We never actually
depressed.
filmed anything either.
Really, I brought
You
the
were,
camera.
you were
didn't
so
do anything.
excited about. He's here. We can film.
We're bringing it back. I've said that like 6 times. I do want to bring it back though. Would y'all be down for more vlogs?
Absolutely.
Yes. Okay.
I miss that. I wish there was a way to know you were in the good old days before you left them.
They were really shitty. I remember thinking that in my head.
Remember thinking what?
Anyways, went on vacation in New Mexico. It was cool. Whole week.
Just
Whole
you?
week. Me, my mom, my brother, and my mom's friend.
Wow.
It was a good time.
What'd y'all do?
We flew into Albuquerque. I'm not going to go much into it because I don't think anyone cares about vacation talk. But we went up to Colorado, then we went to Utah, then we went to Arizona, then we went back to New Mexico, and we flew back all in a week. We did
Similar to what
so
we did
much
in
shit.
college, and it was a lot
Yeah?
of fun.
It is fun. A lot of driving, though. A whole lot of fucking nothing. And this is my main takeaway from it all. People complain so much about how there's nothing to do here, especially like where I'm from.
Well, I mean, if you go to like California, there's a lot to do, but
There's
that's
nothing.
not California. I'm just saying
There's-
we went to California, and I could see, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
there.
What I'm saying is like there's just so much shit to do, and out there there's like nothing, like legit nothing.
like actual nothing.
yeah,
Yeah, think of like
fucking
Iowa
nothing.
or Midwest
Just-
states.
I was just like you damn.
Some people like that,
dude,
though.
Did you
don't-
go to? You didn't go to Zion, did you?
No,
National Park.
we went to Moab.
That was the best thing we did. It was a lot of fun.
You know, I'm gonna be real. I think I enjoyed the food the most. That was probably my favorite part about it all. Sopapillas, I finally ate. That shit was so
What is
fucking
that?
good.
What
It's
is
like
that?
Mexican dish. It's like bread that's hollow, but they stuff it with like a bunch of shit. You can eat it with just honey,
A
which was
calzone?
good. Yeah,
That
it's a
sounds
Mexican
really good.
Mexican calzone is what I'll call it. They
Nice.
stuffed it with chicken. It was
I'm imagining.
so fucking.
I'm
good.
imagining
I
like
just peeked.
funnel cake,
It
like
is very funnel
consistency.
cake s. Yeah,
like with
more
the
like
bread and
fry
then-
bread. You know what that is?
I probably would if I saw it.
It's good. And I'll just go and
Sounds
say my
delicious.
favorite part was when we drove into absolute darkness. It was like zero light, and we looked at the constellations in the sky.
It is. Yeah, you can see the sky. a lot better out
Everything.
there.
And then they all got really scared, so we had to leave really quick. Because we were just driving in just like nothingness for an hour. Like there was nothing out
What do you
there.
mean?
There's just black. Just black everywhere.
You're driving
Mm-hmm.
with headlights.
For an hour. And then they
On a
got
road.
spooked. Yep. But
They
there's
got
nothing out
spooked.
there. And you're
What do you
also
think's gonna be out there.
and there was nothing. I wasn't scared. I wasn't scared.
What is it,
I
the
wasn't
edge of the
scared.
earth or something?
No, it just your brain. I think it starts playing tricks on you. Also, you're like, if we get a flat tire right now, or like if something happens to the car, we're just kind of fucked because you don't have any
Just
service.
get OnStar.
That's
Oh,
why
you
you
don't have
service.
So you listen to Dean and you bring your own tools in your car and have it ready to fix.
Okay, that's the last person I'm gonna listen to on stuff, dude.
On
This dude
car
eats
stuff?
baby food. On cars, yeah. This dude eats straight baby
He
food.
does
every
eat
day.
Baby
baby
food's good
food.
for you. What do you mean?
I don't
Maybe
know
if I was
about
a baby.
You get easy
Dean's
way
like
to get your
fucking
vegetables.
120
Does he still do
pounds.
that? I know he like
6
used
foot.
to.
No,
No,
he,
he still
I think he stopped.
does. No, I don't know.
Okay.
Because when we were filming still a few years ago, he was still doing it. Anyways, that's what I did with my March. That was the highlight of my March for the fucking vacation, which I only vacation like once a year. I need to stop messing with
Nice.
that. All right. Did y'all do anything for fun for March before we get into Last of Us? Because that's going to be the majority of the fucking talk.
We started our project for game design.
Yeah, we finally.
Was that what y'all were
actually
doing in
started.
Discord?
Yeah.
Most of the time, yeah. We did 1 week of good work, and then our second week, which is this week, is didn't really do much.
So
I did
what's
a
the
little bit this
game?
week.
Do you have any? Can you give any clues? Because I don't know anything about it. What's the game about?
Well,
Do you
Daniel
have a
wants to
name?
abandon it
Anything?
already.
No, we talked about it. And you agreed.
Well, I was telling you I agreed
don't-
because I abandoned my
go-
first game.
No, we
To
can go
start
back
this
to it.
game.
We're going back to it.
So
We're
when you
going
say
back
you're
to it.
making a game, let's just clear the air here.
Mhm.
You're learning like coding, I assume.
Yeah,
now
I
you're
learned
having
coding
the
in
actual-
college.
What kind of coding?
C
C
sharp
sharp.
and Java is what I learned in college.
Okay,
And
that's the only
HTML.
questions I know.
I mean, it's
No C++.
You-
We're
we're using Unity, which is just like a game engine.
Oh,
It's a game developer engine. So
You
you have
know
like
developer
Unity, you have like Unreal Engine 5, you have Source Engine. These are all just engines that games are built off of.
something crazy I learned is that the guy who made Roller Coaster Tycoon made his own coding for it, so it could specifically run on the older computers so smoothly.
Yeah, a lot of game developers make their own engines for their game specifically. I wouldn't want to go.
Is that what
about
y'all are
doing-
gonna do?
No,
I
that
don't-
is so much to do.
That would take like years to do just that.
maybe if I went and got a master's in like computer science or game design, maybe then. But I'm not gonna.
So
do that.
generally, you're sitting there, just making code, and then just seeing if it works out. And
You're
then just
basically
trial
just,
and error over and over again.
In Unity, you're actually like you're putting assets into just like a blank like area.
Think of like
Unity
Photoshop.
has like
It's really just like Photoshop
Yeah.
or like a music program. It's really not different than that. You just import things that you need. It has a bunch of like already pre-made things that it might need. So you have like a rigid body or transformation that just shows the location.
So what's the game like? What are you doing for the game?
his idea?
You
It was his
spoil it?
idea. If we finish it, but essentially going down the path of like a it's going down the path of like a roguelite, Enter the Gungeon, bullet hell game. I'm trying to think of a game you
Because
might
it
have
looked
played
8-bit to me. Because I think people.
It is
would
pixel
imagine
art.
but
Yeah, it's a top-down view.
I imagine 3D something. I don't know when you first said you're gonna make a game.
I want to do 3D, but it's
it's not that much harder, but
you need an artist.
yeah.
We're not artists. That's the biggest
No,
part.
neither of us are.
And
I'm not either.
I'm thinking about like not investing, but like I guess it's investing.
AI
Paying
art.
no. Well, I tried to do that. You still have to kind of be an artist to even use that to
Fuck.
make it like actually usable because it's just a picture of a thing. So it's not you can't just import it. You just have
That's
a 2D
like
thing.
one skill I really wish I could have developed more. Like started off earlier is drawing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that would have come in handy like a lot, especially with what like video editing and stuff.
Yeah, it does.
Way more than I thought. The thing
Definitely.
is like colors don't make sense to my brain. Like I don't like have a good eye for like colors and stuff. Like that just escapes me.
My
You know what I
biggest
mean?
issue is I actually got into art a little bit when I was younger. We had that one art class that I thought was pretty fun, even though that has nothing really to do with art. Yeah,
Lee or someone.
Lee
Yeah,
he found a box of oats, just raw, like not flavored or anything, just oats, and he
He
put a
just
bunch
chewed
in
it
his
and
mouth
just-
and
yeah.
chewed it up and took it out with
It
all the
was the
saliva
most
and made a
disgusting
ball
thing
of
ever.
an oat ball of saliva. And a bunch of people like you had. I don't want to get into that.
Well,
There
then
was a
we
lot of good
had
things in
art
it.
class, and
Either way,
Our
it's back on the
friend-
art thing.
I was gonna say Kyle made this. The guy Kyle George made a fucking ship of Legos
Yeah.
and stuff. It
Or was the popsicle ship?
I don't
It
remember.
was popsicle.
It was a bunch of
popsicle
stupid
sticks.
shit.
He made a giant
We
ship.
didn't do anything in that class.
And was it Johnny Wynn?
Johnny Wynn.
Was like, hey, who
He was
$5
gonna
bucks
smash it
for
for
me
$5.
to smash this?
Well, Johnny Wynn
His
also
his buddy's art project.
he also ate that fucking fish or whatever, a live fish for everybody for $5. He was big into $5 challenges.
I think I did that
Anyways.
too.
Did you really?
Yeah, our last senior day, I ate that goldfish.
Ew.
That was $5.
Taking it back to art.
Yeah, back to art.
So you could do a lot of pre-made assets,
yeah,
which is
people
like would be a lot
provide
easier.
assets
But
online.
then like the dark and darker thing, that's like what they're getting taken down for right now. So it's you kind
What's
of
the
run
dark
that
and
risk.
darker thing?
That's a game that has been in beta right now.
I
and
thought you were paying attention when they talked about it earlier.
Is that the?
It's a fun game. It's like Tarkov. Either way, there's a lawsuit against them saying that they stole assets because of like the original owners of The developers of MapleStory, which is Nexion, I think is the developer
Oh,
name.
Maple.
But that's
They make
kind,
a
of,
few
an,
games.
that's kind of
Now
an
you're speaking
issue
my
right now because
language.
what's happening is game developers are just buying packages that just have a bunch of assets in them, and you're not going to go through and make sure that this isn't like copyrighted. Why would you? If you bought it,
Essentially, there's websites online. So Unity is the engine we're using. They have their store called Unity Asset Store.
Mm-hmm.
You can go on there and buy assets to use in your game. A lot of them are free. A lot of them are cheap, $5, $2. Some are like $80, $100. In the description, they will write the legality of like usage that you can use it. You can use it commercially or not commercially. You can use it just for fun. I think everything on the Unity Asset Store have to be able to be used commercially for anyone that purchases it. But the issue that was happening is this happened in another game too. I think it was Forsaken it was the other Dark Souls game. Basically,
yeah.
People can upload an asset to sell in the asset store, and they could actually just originally stole it from another game, upload it on there, and say, "Hey, this is mine."
It's like LimeWire back.
So what
in
probably
the
needs
day.
to happen is like Unity or Epic or whoever. I mean, it depends on where
But
you
yeah,
get
they're
the asset
saying
from. They need to vet it, and they didn't.
but they don't
And
want
so-
to.
Because
Because that's a lot of data,
yeah,
and
it's
that's
a
a
lot
lot. Like,
a big
who has the manpower to go through all this stuff that's just being uploaded every day and say, "Oh, you actually can't do this," or "This is actually stolen in the first place."
So you're basically just stealing assets at this point, unintentionally.
I mean, we're not. No. We're just looking at free stuff and just kind of using it. I mean, honestly, it could
Yeah,
just
these
be a
people
placeholder.
upload saying, "Hey, use this in your own game," because we don't have a use for it. That's the point of it.
All right, so when can I play the game?
I mean, you could play it right
I think
now,
you should
but there's
film.
not
I
much
think you
into
should
it.
finish it. That's
I
my
want
We're gonna,
advice. And I have
we're
no
just
idea
gonna
what I'm
try
talking
and
about. I
make
think you should
like
just finish it.
one level with like a character that can like fire arrows and then like a boss and enemies. That's all we're focused on. Right
It's really just to be like not like a sellable project or game. It's mostly just a project for like a resume. That's kind of the main goal.
So
And
you
then
can,
once
like-
we get more experience with it, then we'll start moving towards like an actual like project that is to be finished and sold, or actually to be put up on a market with like advertising.
Can I make the music for the game?
Yeah, we already have like 3 people making music too.
Fuck.
But yes, you can.
Can I be the voice
Submit a
actor of the
song.
game?
That would
Yeah,
be cool to
guys.
do voice acting. That would
Yeah,
be a
you
lot of
could,
fun.
sure.
Yeah, but you could do music
Yay!
too. There's we mostly have like
Let me shoehorn my
electronic
way in
music.
here.
yeah. You'd definitely bring a different style of music, so you're good.
Yes.
We need boss themes, buddy.
Oh, I got you, baby. Don't worry. All right, let's talk about Last of Us. That's what our main want to talk about. Because I actually finished it, unlike Vincent here, I just learned, didn't fucking even watch the show. I was up till 2 in the
watched
morning
the
last
show.
night, bro.
Okay.
Fucking watching it. Which I enjoyed it.
The last
I look
episode
forward
I
to it.
saw was with the
There's 9 episodes total, so which one did you dip out on?
I think like 4 or 5.
Oh my god.
But
That's
I know
so-
the
that's
premise
like-
of the show. and-
That
0
doesn't
through-
count.
0 through 10, what would you give it? I'd say I'd give it like
9. I'm going
Wow.
high.
Really?
Baby. I think it's better than House of the Dragon. I think it's
Dang.
better than a lot of. I mean, I don't watch a lot of shows though.
You know what I watched instead?
What?
Better Call Saul. That's
I
what I've been
don't
watching
even
the past
know.
I heard
week.
that's really
enough.
good too.
It's
So good.
even-
It's
Yeah, I know
it's
Breaking
filmed
Bad.
in New Mexico.
That does make sense. Actually, I saw a lot of shit about that in Albuquerque.
Really?
About Breaking Bad.
Oh.
Breaking Bad this, Breaking Bad that. Yeah.
Cool.
Anyways, I'd give it like a 7.5 out of 10, I think.
Why the 0.5? Why not just 7 or 8?
7.
What put it over the edge for you? Was it the music?
I think it's good. It didn't wow me. Maybe
If
like
the-
1 or 2 moments.
If the
were
game didn't
really good.
exist, what would you give it?
Ooh.
It's hard to say because I haven't played the game, but I know a lot about
Oh yeah,
the
you
game.
didn't play the game either. None of
And
us
you
have played
didn't.
the
I
game.
didn't play. I definitely.
We need
didn't
someone
play
to play
fucking
the game.
Yeah, I kind of wish we had someone here, but Cole didn't want to skip out on work to stay. But I
Guess-
will say, Cole said it's his favorite media of all time. I don't know what he meant by just media,
Like the game. He would
Yeah.
put that.
but
in
he
his
put
top.
media specifically.
He's saying
so
like
I'm
of all
thinking-
movies, of all games, of all I guess books.
It kind of is a movie.
and he
saying-
stays watching movies. He stays watching
He watches
shit.
a lot of movies.
a lot, like a.
Do y'all
fuck
find
ton.
it hard to commit to movies?
Absolutely,
No,
I would
I
just say
just-
no. I would just rather watch some fucking streamer.
I'll do
And
it like
browse my
if y'all
phone.
like really have something that you think is really good, but
Because I'll watch something and be like, that was dog shit. I just wasted 2 hours of my life and probably money.
I just feel like it used to be
Watching
way
I think
more
I've just
into
always
movies.
been that way. I don't think I was ever just like I'm gonna watch a movie and just turn on something random. I've never been that way.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person that will research the movie, not like spoil it, but just see what people say, like
Oh,
recommendations.
absolutely.
I'll do that, and then
He
I'll
doesn't
watch
think
the
for
movie.
himself. He just
Yeah. Oh, I steal opinions all the time, dude. I don't make up my own.
Damn it, you
form
said that
of my
before.
own.
I'm just clowning you because of that. I don't care.
No, you're funny.
I actually did not get on a tangent here, but since you mentioned it last time, I actually watched Wakanda Forever. I thought it was pretty good.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That
That was pretty well acted. A lot of the action.
Far
though,
enough from it now that I'm trying to remember what I didn't like about it.
I hated the fucking ending when they're all fighting and Namor is
Yeah,
like.
that was the part I
stupid,
really didn't like.
bro.
I was checked out by then.
But all those superhero movies, the last act sucks because it's like I know what's gonna happen. It's all
I can't
planned
watch
out,
superhero
blah, blah,
movies.
blah, blah,
No matter what someone
Hey,
says to me.
you
I
want to talk
can't
about
watch
something
those.
spicy? You seen all that stuff about Kang? I can't remember his name.
Oh yeah, how he beat up some woman
What?
Something like that.
allegedly. Yeah, the guy who plays Kang, Jonathan
Majors.
Majors.
Yeah. So he's
actor?
he's like the new big bad, kind of like Thanos.
He's contracted.
Oh, he's
So
like,
he's, like,
he was
in
gonna
it.
be the next big thing, but
Yeah. But
he got
when
arrested like not that long
Domestic
ago.
violence
Yeah, for
for his wife.
his girlfriend, I think.
Some ladies. He
What was the?
that boy
What was the?
stays
What'd she
single,
do,
bro?
What'd she
Uh,
do?
She had like
What
a,
did she do?
Let's victim blame here.
she had like a black eye, and I think they said there was like evidence that she was strangled or something.
No,
I don't
why
know.
did he do it? What did she do to him to make it?
That's a good question. I don't know. Not enough has come out about
Oh,
it.
you definitely don't hear about that part, do you?
Well,
Reddit didn't mention
so
that
they
part,
released
did
some
they?
text messages from her to him where she said that she was like,
Can you pull
"Oh,
up
I'm so
some-
sorry that like that they arrested you. They shouldn't have done that, and like I'm sorry, it's my fault for trying to grab your phone." Like that's what she said. So, but I saw a lot of people saying it seemed very abused, like a victim of abuse.
Yeah.
I
like,
saw a lot of
like,
does
oh
seem like
please
that.
don't, like, you know.
Yeah, the typical. I mean, that's
don't know.
very standard in domestic violence. Is
No,
that-
all the Marvel fanboys online were like, "He's innocent, I swear."
I don't.
He's a good actor.
sounds
though,
like
man.
a.
He's, and then like other stuff was coming out that he's like really hard to work with. So I don't know.
He was in Creed 3.
I mean, I would rather in that.
There's no way Reddit defends him.
I know
Oh.
Reddit did not defend him. Not at least not
Well,
where I was.
Daniel's
here's
our
the-
resident Reddit.
Yeah, I
user.
know. Well, here's the
I don't
issue.
think they were.
Vincent's
Here's
our
the issue.
Reddit or resident 4chan user.
I actually saw I saw
Retired.
some
Retired.
some nuanced takes
He's
that were
on
just
8chan
like we
now.
don't know enough about this.
That's
like,
worse. I'm
Just
pretty sure.
wait.
I think that's way worse.
I'm just kidding.
I feel like I saw a decent amount of like nuanced opinions, just like this could be really bad, or maybe like she did something. You know,
Well, I
she's,
think
like,
the Redditors
blowing
are
it
going to
up.
have like an inner conflict with themselves because most of them are like comic Marvel fans, like to the
Yes,
core,
sir.
but they're also like super left leaning, so they're super
I
like
don't
defended
think-
against
I don't know
women.
about that.
Absolutely.
You
Have you
think
seen their
those- you
profile
think those
pictures
overlap that much?
with
I
like
feel
fedoras and everything? Absolutely, yes.
Yes, sir.
Huh. I have to think about that.
Like
I don't
comic
know
book
if I don't
owning
know if I agree with
store
that. All the
Redditors.
all
Absolutely.
the Marvel fans that I know are
They're
not left leaning.
conflicted. They're like,
That's what I'm saying.
maybe a
they're-
little
it's,
bit.
It's inner conflicting of like their base appeals and
I think
motives.
most Marvel fans are either like centrist to right leaning. That's
Really.
That's my take on it.
how many Marvel
could be wrong.
characters carry guns? Like 2, maybe.
The Punisher.
The pun. What? Yeah, I was thinking Cable and
Punisher's
fucking.
You know
cool.
what? You know every cop that I work with. Is,
Punisher,
That's, their
that's a good-
background
that's a
screen.
good
That's
Punisher.
crazy.
Is it really?
I know of 2 or 3.
And are they like green cops or are they like
No, they're like
Green Cops. What?
I shouldn't say too much, I guess, but
green meaning like fresh, new?
Oh, I didn't know this.
no.
lingo.
And you know what other one I
You can
see?
use it for
I've been seeing a
anything,
lot.
I guess, but
Green Eye,
Sicario.
I guess.
People have
Sicario?
Sicario as like their background.
The fuck?
That's
Like,
really
just
good.
stuff from
Sicario.
That's actually good. Me
What
and
is that?
That's me and Cole's like one of our favorite movies we watched a while ago.
I don't. This it strikes me as I didn't understand the nuance of that movie. I'm just. It was cool.
Probably. Yeah. No, that's
because
give them some credit
I'm not
if they
saying it's
actually understand the nuance.
anti-cop. I don't necessarily think that or anything. Well, I don't know. I'd have to watch it again. But I think
No, what
It's
it is,
not
it's
really
doing
like-
the right thing regardless of the means.
yeah.
The ends justify the means. That's the whole point of the show or movie.
What
sorry.
is this? What is
Sicario? It's about
This? I've heard of it.
I think it has to do with the cartel, right? That's mostly what it is, cartel in Mexico. At the U.S. border between Mexico and I guess Texas, where they do it.
It's about a
Or maybe
broken
New
system,
Mexico.
and it follows. What's her name? I can't remember the actress's name.
She's like I think she's just a DEA drug.
It's just some show about some.
She's
gang
kind of like
shit
an
or whatever.
idealist coming into the situation. Like
she
you
works for
know,
the feds, does everything by the book.
yeah,
I don't know
There's
if
a
this-
big issue with the cartel. So they bring in these two dudes who play the line of the book where they work out of U.S. borders so that they can do things basically that would be illegal in U.S. borders, but they can do it legally they do it in Mexico. So they do a bunch of illegal stuff. Basically go and kill a bunch of bad guys that are in the part of the cartel.
It's very like.
But
And cops love it because they don't
I don't
follow the
it's,
rules.
It's hard
they
to
go
say.
by
I've never talked
Let's
to
generalize
a cop about
here.
it. But I'm just saying, like, I feel like
it's to do something for the greater good. That's the point of the movie too, because not only are they have to put someone to replace the old. I think that's the name of it. Sicario is someone who is actually owned by the U.S. who takes the place of like a leader in the cartel to run the cartel, so that it doesn't get out of control, so that they can control the cartel.
This sounds like something I'd hate, but I know if I'd watch it, I'd probably like it.
Oh yeah,
Because if I were to break down The Last of Us,
it's good.
yeah,
bringing it back,
yeah,
and you were to describe Joel, I think I would hate it. But then, like, watching it, I really like it.
that's how I was too.
Really like it. And remember, because last podcast I said, I think I'm going to hate this show
Yeah,
because everyone else really loves it.
yeah.
Cole said it's his favorite piece of media of all time. And even Bad Sam said it was his favorite game. Because there's part 1 and part 2. Part 1 they loved. Part 2 was kind of controversial with a bunch of shit, which I don't want to get into because
I don't think it's as controversial as it first
Yeah, because
was.
the show
but it got a lot of blowback.
before part 2 of the game, right?
I think
does
so.
part
Yes.
1 only cover
Part 1 is the first game.
or season
Season
1 of
one
the
is-
show
Season
is
one
part
is
1 of
part
the game.
one of
Okay,
the
that's
game.
good that they lined it up like that.
Yeah, which also brings me to think, like, okay, so is
If season 2 is going to
Season
follow
2 is
like
gonna
part
part
2, then I don't know if they're talking about making another game. So I don't know if they're just going to kind of keep going with it or what the deal's going to be.
I think, and this is what my brother told me, so it may or not be true, but he said that they're going to go on their own thing and go off the game and do something different.
I think so too.
Which I think is the smartest move.
The flack that they got for part 2, they might want to.
No, I think I think they've said they're going to follow it. Like
I think they'll keep
By
the
the book.
main
At least part
points,
two.
but I think they'll probably introduce more characters.
I think he's saying
and
like
build the
after
world
part
more.
2, they're going to like
Oh,
just do their
okay.
own thing.
Yeah,
and
so they'll
not worry
probably
about-
introduce different characters and do different things so they can go on different stories. Because, I mean, they could still keep the world and just do it from different people's points of view.
Speaking of the world, this might be it's definitely a hot take.
Like
I
that.
don't find the world terribly interesting.
I was literally about to say, dude, like, I think that's one of the best parts is I think the
I like the characters. The characters are amazing, I think.
Yeah.
I think the world,
I
like,
do want to get into that.
I'm a
but
big fan of dystopian, post-apocalyptic books, shows, movies, games.
Near Automata or whatever.
Yeah, Nier Automata. That's a great game. But
He only likes for the plot, though. So
it actually has a very interesting plot. I don't
it
know
does.
if you ever
It really does.
did. You
yeah.
play it?
I played a little bit of it.
Do you know the plot?
She can't remember shit and then keeps dying and then coming back, and then something else happened. I don't remember.
So
this was years ago.
They
man.
have this station up. I'll do a quick synopsis. 1 minute. They have a space station, all the androids, that is up in space. I think it takes place on the moon. They are sent down to go and try to save what is left of humanity, or trying to figure out what happened to the humans.
Oh yeah.
There's apparently
robots.
apparently
Same.
on this station, the humans are being kept, but it's all a lie. This is a spoiler alert, by the way. It's a lie by their android leader
Oh.
to make them just keep this process of trying to save the humans when they're actually just not even alive anymore. And this has been going on for like thousands of years. There's robots that are on the planet that are basically like dying because of them trying to save the humans. They think they're the enemy, but they're not. And these robots start gaining consciousness and start gaining like the ability to be their own like soul.
Yeah.
But you just kill them relentlessly, and that's because you're given the mission. Then you have a previous version called 9S, which is like the previous version of 2B, and she has gone rogue against the faction that you're part of with the androids, and they send you to kill her. But she's like as strong as you. She fights back, and she's trying to actually help them all down there. It actually gets way deeper than this. I didn't get into it that much. You have to play through the
Well,
game
yeah.
3 times to actually get the ending.
Yeah,
Because you have to
fuck
play
that.
through 2B, you have to play through 9S, and sorry, she's not 9S, and I think A2 or A.
The
A1.
little
the little boy, that's
I
9S,
hate that guy.
and
Fuck
then
that guy.
the girl, the rogue girl. You have to play through that to get the actual ending of what's going on in the world. Either way,
people
back on
only
the
like
world
that.
of
I was
The
gonna
Last of
say
Us.
people only like that because the female is attractive in it. I mean, so confident.
There is
that's
sex
the only
appeal,
reason.
and that's fine.
She's huge. She like
Yeah, absolutely.
she wields a katana blade or whatever, and goes around in like a maid outfit kind of.
Yeah, basically a maid outfit.
But the plot's good.
But when you say it like that, I feel
What do
like
you? So
it's a good game though, I swear.
it is. It is.
so
a
what do
really
you
good
like
game.
about the world?
I like the idea of fungus. I think that's
That is-
cool.
it's scary because it could potentially happen.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely very
I do
scary.
like the
I mean,
idea,
besides that, it's pretty standard zombie.
but it's not really zombie though. And I think that's what I like the most is that it doesn't really drive the story as much as the characters do in the conflicts within themselves. Like it sounds a little pretentious there. I feel like
I think every zombie anything turns into that. Walking Dead.
yeah, but that show sucked.
I'm not talking about whether it's good or not. I'm saying like that's
I didn't like-
exactly
It's a
what
common
happens
trope,
in that
yes.
show.
Yeah, well, I'm going to compare them.
Or
'cause
what
they're very
what other
similar.
zombie things?
World War Z.
World War Z wasn't really like that.
We just watched that. I didn't like it.
I
But
didn't like it
long-haired
either.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
He's a hunk.
What a hunk. The plane part was cool.
So,
but
go back on what
completely
you said.
unrealistic.
So, what did you like about the
The humans are the real monsters. That's
yeah,
what
you
you're
find out that the humans are the real bad guys here.
saying. I mean, that's a very like I'd say
no,
common
the
trope.
hero is the that's all basic. I mean, if you boil down every story, it's gonna be the same basic concept, you know. Heroes versus villains.
I mean,
kinda
yeah.
thing,
So I'm just saying like that's not really a reason to like love it. It's not unique, is all I'm saying.
I just
Right.
like
It
the
is- it is
idea
good.
that
No, you're
I
right.
like it.
See, I'm with you on that. I think that trope is very
redundant.
yes.
Relative
Yeah,
to
but you
other
have to
things-
follow that though, or else you're gonna get in the sort of stigma of being like, we're just gonna subvert expectations.
No, you
and do
can
the
play the
exact
line
opposite.
and have like morally gray areas.
I
I
feel like
think
they do
Resident
that.
Evil does that a lot.
I mean,
feel like
I,
they do
I
that.
agree with you that that's really the only thing you can do to make it interesting. Like the zombies
Morally
are,
gray?
or the fungus, the what do they call them? Clickers
Yeah.
are only interesting up to a certain point.
Yeah, which is why like a lot of the flack that they got online was that there wasn't enough of them, or there wasn't enough violence or whatever. But I feel
I
like
think the point
there
of the story
was-
has nothing to do with the clickers.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree with
exactly.
that. I mean,
And I think the
there-
fungus part is just
there were like
it was
three
a different
interesting.
color. I
There
don't
were, like,
think
3
it's
or
that
4 solid
interesting. It's
episodes
just
with, like,
they
a
chose a
lot of
different
it.
color for a zombie. Essentially, is
Yeah.
what it is.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's
I
not
mean-
really zombies though.
It is. It's just essentially
I mean,
zombie trope.
It takes over your brain, and you.
Because I
act
hate
like a zombie.
zombies. So that's I think
Okay,
that's
I won't.
in
I
my
won't try and.
in
say
my
that
brain,
I
for you.
I
love
have
If
zombies.
you like it better,
I'm a
that's-
big fan of it, but there's an issue with the zombie not culture fan base. Very cringe fan base.
Are you a part of the zombie culture, Vincent?
Just the zombie fan base is very.
You just said you're a
cringe.
fan, right?
Yeah,
So you're in the fan base.
I try not to be.
I like the zombies from Night of the Living Dead.
I don't think I've seen
Those are like, they're not really sentient. They walk slow. They kind of just your standard kind of zombies.
Yeah.
And these are like super fast and can do shit, you know. So
That's
I
how
don't
Resident
really
Evil
like.
is, and that's why I like it.
I'm not really a fan of those.
The super fast ones are the ones that are brainless.
Like the brainless. I think I like those ghouls. I think is what they call them technically. Ghouls.
Yeah, no. I mean, they go back for years. Like, there's so many old movies that had the zombie trope that has been used.
Yeah,
over
but that's
and over
one.
again.
Yeah, it's more like.
And it's just like brainless. But I think there are like interesting things you can get from it and interesting worlds.
What was your favorite episode?
Yeah,
Sorry,
Vincent,
catch
you
off.
start 1 through 4.
I like the was it episode 2 or 3, the gay one?
That's 3.
3. That one actually was really good.
I actually hated that one.
I thought it was amazing.
Not because
I didn't think it had anything to do with the story.
Exactly,
but
I hated it.
It was really well done. I actually really felt for the couple.
Let me see. It had a little bit to do with the story, a little bit.
They got a truck from it and a battery, or they were there to try to get a battery. They got
Yeah,
a
and it
truck.
did in the first episode, or I think it was the second, when she figures out the songs or whatever, like the 70s song means this, the 80s songs mean this. It builds into B and F
yeah.
being them, Bill and Fred or something. I
Bill
think.
and
Frank, I think.
Yeah, Frank.
I think that episode was fine, but
It was pretty good.
I heard a lot of like buzz around it, and then I was just kind of when I watched it, I was like, that was okay. It kind of just depressed me. I think is why I didn't like it because it was just really sad.
Very depressing.
Yeah, that's why I liked it. It's very rare for me to like get emotionally invested in one episode to a few characters.
They did it. They
and actually
they
get
paced
sad
it well.
about
I
like
agree.
That's-
rarely happens.
That's why I think they're gonna go more off book with stuff like that for season 2. Just introduce more characters that could just literally just be one-offs like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I changed my mind. I do like that episode.
It's really good.
Okay,
for
but
it to
I think
actually like invoke an emotional feeling in one episode for a character that was just introduced in the same episode, that's very rare for me.
That one and episode 7, the one where you get Ellie's background with the other girl, those were tied for the worst episodes.
I didn't love that one.
Yeah.
Um,
And a later episode, it's just a whole episode of her background meeting one of her friends.
She
who
was like in
falls
a
love with.
she was like in a
Which friend is it?
school, and she had like a friend, and the friend was joining the Fireflies, and so
She
the friend
was-
like takes her because it's like her birthday, but the friend takes her to like this mall, and
She
they're,
wasn't
like, playing
introduced in
the
the
ball and stuff.
beginning. It was only this episode she
Yeah.
existed in. It wasn't really that interesting.
and then
but,
they both get bit. Spoiler alert:
yeah.
they both get bit,
Ellie's
and Ellie doesn't
immune.
turn, but the girl does.
Oh,
And so
that's pretty
sad.
interesting.
She's like, I'd rather just wait it out.
It's
have
also
those
the
2
first-
minutes.
The first crush Ellie has, so that's kind of important
Yeah.
later for later on, I guess.
Because that wasn't okay.
Well, I
so
mean, like
in-
that's kind of important for her character arc. That's,
But
like,
in part 2 is the one where they made that she become. How do I phrase this right? Where I don't sound like you find out she's gay,
I think
right?
I don't know if you know that.
That's
I don't know if
that
that's
was
in
so
the
hard to
first-
say.
I
You
don't
find
know
out
if
she's
you-
gay in the second.
I never played the
second.
game, so I don't know if you know.
Oh yeah, I
then, but
forgot. I don't.
I think you find out like in the.
I thought maybe you
think
read it on
this
Reddit.
part, the part we're talking about, that episode is like DLC for the game or something.
Oh.
I'm not 100% sure about that.
Because I remember the backlash for it.
Intern,
don't
look
know.
that up. He's not paying attention.
He's like, all right,
I still want to
all right,
know
doesn't
why
matter.
you find the world so interesting. You find the zombies that are different colored interesting.
I thought that
the factions, I assume, you find interesting.
I thought the Fedra versus the Fireflies was. I thought that was really cool.
so. You got 2 factions.
And then how it's basically
What do they stand for?
it basically boils down to fascism versus communism.
Fedra
Okay.
is like the
what they boil it
military,
down
and
to.
Fireflies are like the terrorist group. That's
Because when
neither of them are very good.
So they're terrorists for what reason? They want to be against anti-establishment,
Because
right?
It's because the you know how they were like hanging people for like leaving, like in the first
Yeah, the
episodes? I
Fedras,
think
right?
they're just like they're like an authoritarian
Yeah. Okay.
rule that the Fireflies don't like.
the others see each other as the enemy, sort of thing.
Do you read a lot of post-apocalyptic
I don't read.
stuff or watch, play
I
post-apocalyptic
don't watch
stuff?
anything. I don't.
I just
play.
feel like the common like
don't-
super far fascist and communist trope is not that interesting, but it is good to have. I think that is like a staple for like post-apocalyptic to have. Like
I mean, it's pretty realistic. I think.
definitely,
Definitely
it
think
is.
that's what would happen.
Mhm. But I think it'd be more interesting to have more factions that play like a more broad spectrum of a line instead of just having you're either far right or far left and pick your side, or you don't pick one. Is kind of not terribly that interesting.
You just
but
want it to be morally gray.
I want there to be moral gray.
I don't
But
think
you
I
never
don't think
really
s-
find out like what the Fireflies or the Fedra want, besides like, oh, they want Ellie because she's immune. I mean, like, okay, that is a driving force, but it's not like they have like a dogma or anything.
It's not like there's
I think
some-
that's what you want.
there's
like-
some
like
leader
something
being
more
like, this is
our goal.
It would
and
be
it's-
cool to
it's
have
not-
like
it's unique.
a religious zealot cultist.
that they meet
faction.
That'd
that.
be cool.
Is there one?
Yeah, they meet that in episode 8. That guy who's like
yeah.
he's using religion to use that as
They
like,
run into
That's
yeah,
interesting.
uh,
Yeah,
like
definitely.
a
I find that
community.
when you add more flavors of different factions, I find that more interesting than just
I
having
don't know
like
if you
two.
could consider them a faction. They're kind of just a community that
yeah.
they're
it was
not big
cool.
enough to be
Think-
considered
I
a faction.
think that's my favorite
But
episode.
That was a good episode. That definitely I didn't know anything about that going in because
I didn't
like
either. Yeah.
some of the other like parts of the show I'd seen in clips from the game and stuff. But that one I didn't know anything about, so it was very good.
Yeah, it turns out that the zealot guy, I forget what his name is, the preacher of it all, the leader, was like chopping people up and feeding it to the
So
community.
that's cool. That's actually cool, but
he
it doesn't
tries to,
elaborate on
like-
it.
It's
like-
it's actually I
They're
thought
just
it,
like kind of a small community. They don't really gain much ground.
it's well, first of all, he tries to like get Ellie to like be his wife or something.
Yeah, he was trying to fuck her,
yeah, it's-
which is weird because he was a
very-
teacher and what.
He's
it
like
was-
he's like old too. Like
But that's
Fuck,
interesting
man.
still
yeah.
to have like the religious one do that, which is
well,
He's
Nice.
Like,
I
"We
mean,
can do it
when-
together, and then you find out like after that
when the rules of society just go out the window, like people are just gonna start becoming animalistic and just doing
Well, yeah.
whatever the fuck they want to do.
that, and you have people
what's
that
so
want to
scary.
take power. That's the interesting part about the factions.
But I think people want, people who want the power. You know what I mean? Like
What do you
leader,
mean?
people want leaders that know what they want. that can
Yeah.
do what they want.
Yeah. You want strong
You know what I mean?
leadership.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So people who are just kind of like, I don't know what you should do. Yeah, fuck them. Get them out of here.
Oh yeah.
But people who are just
they're
like,
gonna
no,
die probably.
we're gonna do this. We're doing this.
Here's
like,
the
that's
rules,
what you need.
and you can follow them or you can leave. That's essentially.
And I
what
don't
the
even think
factions are.
if it's good or bad, it goes out the window when it comes to survival.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why it's morally gray.
That's why Joel's just like, no, we're gonna kill him. Fuck him. Just kill him.
Another interesting idea that they could do, because I'm not super.
You
big
got to
into this.
finish the first season first, Vincent.
I know, no. I'm just saying for the world in general, because I like this style of world that you can add a lot to it. There's so much potential because all the rules are broken at this point. You can make your own rules. You have.
Wait. I'm sorry. Why don't we just play Last of Us?
We should.
This is a long game.
Dude, let's play.
It's
And-
probably like
Not gonna lie, I didn't like the gameplay that much,
Okay.
but I'd watch it. I've been watching Cole. I'm enjoying watching Cole play it currently. So
that's funny
I'd definitely watch
because I feel like it's kind of similar to Resident Evil 4.
it. Why do you say that?
It was just over the shoulder. It's I have like 5 bullets and got to make them count in this encounter, and it just it's similar in that way.
Is it kind of like
I-
what was that other zombie?
I haven't ever
game?
played Last of Us, so maybe I'm. Yeah.
I see the similarities, but I think you could say that about 100 games.
Was it Left 4
being like that.
Dead?
Hmm?
Was that in another zombie game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
amazing.
That
zombie
was
game.
great
That one
game.
set some real milestones for zombie games. In
That
general.
might actually be up there. I
It
played
kind of
that game
brought in a whole
lot.
genre of like the, I guess the Left 4 Dead style games. You had so many games copy it afterwards.
Oh,
like
and
Back
then-
4
yeah.
Blood. You had, I guess Dying Light kind of took some influences from it.
And in the second one, couldn't you do co-op or something?
I don't
There's
know that
co-op in the
anybody's
original.
really done.
So good.
I don't know that anybody's really successfully recreated it.
No, it kind of just lived in its time, and you can't really do it again.
I would
because
say
it's
that,
not terribly complex.
I'd say Deep Rock Galactic is kind of Left 4 Dead.
Oh yeah, that absolutely.
It was kind of
Influenced
like
by
an
it, at least.
arcade kind of like game kind of play, like a little beat 'em up sort of thing. Just people come in. That was it.
The big thing was like playing through the same levels, but like the hordes would be in different places and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty revolutionary.
Class
I think.
based 4-player co-op. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Anyways, I would say my other favorite scene from which you might have gotten. You got to the part where he meets his brother, Joel.
No,
Oh, dude, that was like
I think I'm one episode right behind it. Because it's he meets who's the blind kid in it. That
Ooh, that was pretty rough.
the son and the father of him.
Sam, Super Sam,
Yeah, Super Sam. I got through that episode. I think that was the last one I did.
and Henry.
Yeah.
That was fucked. Actually, I felt really bad for him. The little kid gets infected.
In the game, it was really
I think-
different at that part.
Really?
He's not blind in the game. That's
No,
one
he's not
major-
blind. He's deaf.
Or sorry, not blind. He's not deaf in the game at all. He's perfectly normal.
Weird.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did.
I think that
then.
was some of the best acting when the older brother, like kills himself,
Yeah.
and like her reaction to it. That was pretty good.
Also, they don't sneak up on Joel and Ellie sleeping in the game. They I think it's vice versa. And I think Ellie stops Joel from killing them, and they're working it out. Because Cole was just playing that the other day. That was me dropping this, I think.
Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, I gotta play the game, but when he goes and meets his brother, they have like this huge dialogue between them both, which I don't think was in the game. I don't fucking know, but it's basically like how he can't get close to Ellie because of how much he like fears of losing her now, and he doesn't want to like actually go through with it.
But isn't he already too close at this point?
Mm-hmm. So that's why he gets his
He's already
brother to
too
go
deep.
take her instead of him, because he's like, I can't deal with it.
He's just like paralyzed by failure.
Mhm.
Like he
Yeah.
I like it
thinks he's
'cause-
gonna fail and she's gonna die.
He's like, even in my dreams, I fail. It's really good. Pedro Pascal, dude.
Mhm.
Fucking knocked it out of the park. That was a scene where I was tearing up because I was like, holy shit, this is like real. To see like, I don't know, and this is what I like the most is that it's very like cowboy-esque, very like Clint Eastwood sort of style. Like this hardened,
No
like,
wonder Cole
you know?
likes it.
That's what it is. Okay.
And it's funny because if I were to jot down what like, you know, cowboy shit and like Westerns are all about, I'm usually not for that. But like just, I don't know, seeing it just play out in this way, it's just so good, you know? I was just really drawn to it about like just a guy who just like you can just like believe he can just do anything.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of things about a cowboy that people like, and that's why it blew up so much. There's a lot of noble things and good character aspects to cowboy, I guess, tropes.
It's the anti-hero with a heart of gold.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah, but
maybe not heart of
True.
gold. That's not.
yeah,
Right.
I think so. I think in older westerns maybe, but then when they, time went on, like the Clint Eastwood stage and stuff,
It's the likable
past the John
angle, I
Wayne.
guess.
they kind of made him more like gray, where he just kind of does what he wants to do, which is why I think I like Joel so much, because he reminds me a lot of those like Western-esque people.
You got to
All
think
right,
in this
so-
situation it becomes the Wild West, but go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Last episode.
Sick as fuck. I did.
Spoiler alert. I don't know what I would say my favorite episode is. I really enjoyed the last one.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
were
definitely.
all pretty good. I actually really liked the pilot. I thought the pilot was really good.
I liked them all. Like, I only started it this week. I watched 3 episodes Tuesday, 3 episodes Wednesdays, and 3 episodes Friday. I just knocked them all out. And I looked forward to it. And I hate binge watching. But I sat my little ass down, and I sat through them all and watched them. And when I got to the end
what do you
last
think
night,
about Joel's decision?
I think he's fucked, dude. Like, I think I've
I think he
walked
should have
away
just
being
been
like,
honest.
he's fucked. What he did was selfish. He basically...
Yeah, but they don't know that they would have created a cure. I mean, they're literally just digging around in their
Yeah.
brain to see what they can find.
So you agree with me then?
For sure, I think they wouldn't have got it. Because I don't think
It
would have
wouldn't
been
be
possible.
thematically nice, but you
Well,
still
yeah,
have
the
to try.
story, meta-wise, yeah.
Yeah, meta-wise. it
But I
would.
think
But
realistically,
realistic, yeah.
I don't think they could have.
Well, I'm
I-
saying that they should have tried. Realistically,
I think it should have been up to her and her decision.
yeah, they
pretty
don't tell
much.
her. So
yeah.
I don't know how it happens in the game, but yeah, they just say like we're gonna run some tests on you, or we're gonna do some surgery just to like check some stuff out. But they don't say we're gonna do the surgery that'll kill you.
But then you have like that back to what we were talking about before with the world. You can have another faction in these kind of scenarios. It's like a scientific faction that only wants to progress research after this. They see it as like
Yeah.
evolution of this happening.
That's kind of what this is.
And I do think,
But I think they're still the Fireflies, right? I can't remember.
yeah, it was Fireflies.
Like they don't mind killing.
I agree
to
with them, though. I think
progress
they should have
science.
just, even though I think it's wrong, it's wrong just to take some kid and
I mean,
basically
she's
kill
being
him.
basically put to sleep, and then she's just, if I had to die, that wouldn't be a bad way.
Well,
to
then
go.
you get the ends justify the means issue where, am I willing to kill this kid to potentially save the rest of humanity?
well, she's also like, and then what? She's gonna die anyways. We're all gonna die from this. You know what I mean? That's just how it's gonna happen. And this is one way that we can actually maybe survive it all.
Yeah, but you have a choice of how you die.
Yeah,
That's the issue.
if they had given her the choice, like
I think she would have
She-
probably done it. I mean, I would have if I was given a choice. Would you?
Yeah, definitely. I'd give
Would
it up.
you? Okay.
I would trade. I'd make a trade. I'd be like, okay, if you can ensure all my friends and family live happy and they have a place to live that is guarded. then
okay,
yeah,
but what
you
if
can
they're
have-
like, we have no guarantees it'll work?
Also, we have nothing to give you, so because it's the apocalypse.
Yeah, but they have places. They have weapons.
I
they
get
have
you.
food and stuff.
Nah,
yeah.
I think I'd just be like, because in this world, yeah, there's a lot of horrible ways you could die.
So Joel
Now,
goes-
if we're in like our world, and it was just like, we can do surgery on you and it'll cure cancer, but you're not gonna wake up. Maybe it'll cure cancer.
cancer.
I mean, think
yeah.
about it that way. Like,
But if it's
in our setting, in our
something
world,
really
I'd be like,
small-
I don't know if I think I'd be selfish and
don't
not
know.
do it. But
Cancer,
if it
I
was
would
in-
definitely do
if it was
it.
in a like
Yeah.
a post-apocalyptic.
I don't know what
like-
you're on, dude. I would definitely cure cancer.
No,
What do you
that's
mean?
what I'm saying. Is like you don't know for sure. Like this isn't a guaranteed thing.
Well, also,
In fact-
cancer's abroad, you know. Like,
Yeah,
what kind of?
sure.
We talking about?
I'm just
testicular.
trying
No,
to-
he's
about
no, he's right. It
thyroid?
is
Make a
he's
line
saying there's a
between the two
chance,
things.
and you're rolling it back.
I just want to prove you wrong, Daniel. Is that such a crime?
In this world, yeah, probably.
If it
I
wasn't
probably would
guaranteed,
be like,
would you give
just
up your
do it.
life?
I'd be like, Doc, give me the
Give me
the
a percentage
numbers.
chance.
And he's gonna lie to me just to get me to do it.
50-50.
No, he wouldn't say 50-50.
What is
I
it,
think he'd give
50-50?
you 80-20. Even if it was 50-50, I
Would you
think
do
they
it?
would absolutely lie to you.
Yeah.
Would you do it,
I mean, would you would want?
Would
them
you
to.
do it if it was 50-50? Would you do it?
If the odds were,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You would.
yeah,
What if it was 20 no, 80 or 80% it wouldn't work, 20% it would?
80% it wouldn't.
Yeah. Would you give up your life
Am I this age or 14?
right now? Actually, no.
Yeah,
14.
I would. 14 probably not.
You wouldn't give it up?
Right here, I'd probably give it up. If we were stuck in that world, I would give it up because
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
be like, I don't care. This
Like-
world sucks. What do I?
It's
I mean,
either
what
this
else?
or getting like torn apart or getting mouth kissed by a gross
yeah.
fungal.
Who gives a
Some
shit?
people want our world to turn to that.
No, I don't think they do. those fuckers would be the first to die.
You think so?
I would too. I wouldn't
so? You
You
survive.
think people just want anarchy? Like just
A lot of people want anarchy
No,
or just
they
like to
don't.
tear
Things
it-
would be
yeah,
simpler.
They do.
No,
Dude,
here's the
they
problem.
do.
They're stuck in their own fucking ways, and they just
They're
want
stuck at their
change.
shitty
And they're-
job and they want
and they're
everything
too
to
much
change. They
fucking
hate their
simpler.
boss and they can't change it. Yeah.
They're too
would
much
just
of
be about
fucking
survival,
pussies to
not
do
about-
anything else than what they are told to do. People want to be told what to do. That's what this all boils down to. God, this show. They just want to just have their hand held and be like, "This is what you're doing in your life." Just
You
do it.
don't. So you don't want our world to turn to that at all.
I don't-
Like a great reset, as some people call it.
Fuck no. That'd be awful. And I think anybody else. Do you?
I don't want it to
I
happen, but
think-
it would be an interesting ride.
I think some of our friends might want it.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of people that do
I
want
think
that.
people just have rose tinted glasses about like the whole. They want to
Apocalypse.
be a cowboy that's
Fuck
just
that.
like that
Fuck
lives
that.
on the
That shit
road
is
and
so
just
hard.
makes his own rules.
We gotta think. Cole does have a point that he said earlier.
What's that?
It's our base instincts to kind of live.
To live that way.
Yeah.
That's what I said. It would be simpler. I think people long for that simplicity of just like
It'd be a harder
day to
fucking
day
life, man.
survival.
I saw back to the Hunter x Hunter thing we were talking earlier. If you listen
Okay,
to
anime talk.
the King's speech, he.
King's speech. Yeah. Okay.
I'll pull it up and read it to you
What?
Really eager to do it.
because I don't know which exactly.
Anyways, I think it's a great show. I still stand by 9 out of 10. I think all around, I mean, there's nothing that shouldn't have been in there. It was a good story. I felt like the acting was fucking great. Pedro Pascal and the girl Bella Ramsey.
She did a really good job.
Amazing, dude. I'd watch it again.
I definitely think the acting was.
Are they filming
great.
season 2?
I'm sure.
Is it going to be like 3 years till we get it or something?
She is way older in the second game.
Okay.
Sure, she seems older. I mean, I don't know how much time actually passes. I think it's like a couple of years. So I don't know. I don't know if they'll do it right away or. I'm
That's the thing
assuming they're already filming it.
That's the thing about kids. They grow up so quick. Like
Yeah.
Stranger Things now, those kids are
Can I read this too?
fucking
go ahead.
ancient.
You will fight knowing you cannot win. I don't understand. Are you fighting me for all of humanity? If so, then you should know that my actions are entirely for their benefit. For example, in human society, lands are split by borders, marking their territory. On the right side of a border, children may starve to death, while on the left side, idle dregs do nothing and have everything they need. It's absolute madness. I shall crush the madness and create a fair world where the concept of inequality will be completely forgotten of all time.
What is this? What are you reading?
That's Hunter x Hunter.
He's just one of the
Communist
he's one of the
Manifesto? What is
villains.
this?
You talking about the King Ant?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
He's one of the villains, and he's just he's right.
A lot of people want
The
that.
fuck?
They want that
No,
pure inequality or
They
pure
don't. I
equality.
but
promise. I think if they got what they,
I think you're
They're wrong.
trying. I think
they're wrong. They're wrong. I can't prove it, but they're fucking wrong.
I think you're giving a generalization.
I think there's a very handful of people among us that could actually survive,
Wheel of Time.
and I'm not one of them.
You have to think there's a lot of people that don't have cars and just live on a farm by themselves and just sustain themselves.
Yeah, and they
especially
die.
in the mountains.
They would die.
They would probably last the longest out of
No,
everyone.
I think they would die pretty quick.
Why do you think that?
Yeah,
No
like
heat.
that Indian couple they run into, or Native American. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
You have
Same thing.
Amish people. You have people in
You know what I'm
third
talking
world
about though? That
countries
they run
don't.
into at that cabin.
Yeah.
I'm bringing.
They're
back to The Last
funny.
of Us. Yeah, they were.
They
That was
hunt
good.
for a living.
Vincent didn't see that part.
Yeah. I think
They have fuel to generate their own power,
I think
solar
they die.
energy. Why?
I can't explain it. I don't think it's one of those things where
I
it's
think
like,
city people would die first.
oh, for sure.
Just 'cause there's-
and we're
There's
city
so many
people.
people. There is. We would instantly be gone.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the mountain people surviving, but I don't know. I think mentally too, it'd just be a huge toll, and I don't think a lot of people.
A lot of them wouldn't even know what's going on for a while too.
I don't know. Vincent.
No internet. Come on, guys.
Yeah, they don't even have
No
internet.
internet, bro.
No Wi-Fi. I can't live in this world. Just take me out of it. I'll cure whatever you want. No, I'm just kidding.
It would be exciting. I wouldn't want it though.
Exciting. Most definitely. Yeah.
Think of it like a video game. See how far you get into it before you die.
A week.
I mean, if it's like The Last of Us,
But
your
let's
life
see.
wouldn't change that
You wouldn't
much.
know
you
until
just
you
would
try
live
it.
under an
the
authoritarian
thing.
rule in a safe area in a city.
The biggest assholes I think would survive
Absolutely.
because like they do in the show, they're just like, fuck them. Fuck all of them.
Yeah.
There's no goodwill. There's none of this.
No, you can't.
And I don't think I could do that. I'm too nice.
You just make your own groups, factions, and play along their rules.
Yeah, I don't think I get that far. I think I would die at phase 1.
Really?
Day 1.
You get pretty far in a car. You're intelligent enough, I think, to make it longer than you're giving yourself.
What are we talking about?
I don't know.
The people that are going to die are the people, I'm going to stay home and lock my doors. Those are the people that are going to die.
Okay, you need a place to stay? Okay, you can come with me. Boom, dead.
You need to get the fuck out. That's the first thing.
You know what? I would survive. I'd be like, fuck all y'all.
Yes, there you go. See?
Cole comes knocking at my door. Fuck off.
Okay.
Shooting.
So
I'd
you don't
come
have to deal with
here.
them later as infected.
Y'all got a lot of guns. I'd come here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have any guns. Okay, wrap it up. Where do you guys stand on the gun issue? I'm serious, man.
What does your audience think before I give my opinion? So I can be
I don't know
liked.
if he's gonna get canceled or not.
Yeah.
My
Well, not
audience,
canceled. Just I'll tailor my opinion.
I like going around my work asking people who they vote for.
And what's the majority? They probably didn't vote, did they?
I don't vote.
Yeah. Okay.
They're
That's what I
fucking lying. I know they're lying when
No,
they tell
they
me
probably
that.
don't vote. A lot of people don't vote. What's the percentage of people that vote? It's something tiny.
Low.
It's low as hell. Our turnout rate's awful.
I mean, they all think I voted for Trump. I voted for Biden.
You voted for Trump?
I didn't vote for Trump.
I
They
can't believe
think
you
I
voted for Trump.
Trump. I voted for my boy Biden,
What's your gun question?
and he's country's going great. What's the price of eggs
Biden's
nowadays?
okay. Yeah, he's great.
He's okay. I don't get into politics though. I do vote
I like
just for fun.
I think politicians are very boring. I find policy a lot more interesting to talk about.
I don't find
That's sort of
any
the
that
issue right
interesting.
now is there's not really talk about policy.
I think if we were to break down, I don't want to get into it. If we were to
Culture
every time, because Cole and I have this argument a lot about gun issues and stuff. Every
The
time we
shooting
talk
and
about
everything.
Hmm?
We never got on the shooting. I guess that's where this is relating to.
No, we're not going on that. We're not talking about the school shootings.
But that's a big gun issue. Like,
It's a big part of this conversation.
yeah, it's huge. It's one of
I
the
guess I
strongest
did
proponents
bring it
for
up.
against like guns is these shootings. Our mass shootings have gone up so much. So I looked at
is
some
scary.
statistics. I think it went back to like the 1800s where this started. It did every decade from like 1890 to 1900 to 1910, and it's had like a steady incline. It'd be like 5 back then, and then the next year it'd be like 10. I think in the 90s we got up to like 20 school mass shootings. I think that was the thing. I don't directly. If we could have the intern look this up, it'd be great. But
Don't look it up.
I think in 2000 it went up to 80. And then it went down again. Sorry, no, it was like the 80s was like 20, 90s was like 80, and then in the 2000s,
80 what? Just total?
yeah, mass shootings, which is like
Yearly? Like annually?
Yeah.
How many are done year? Okay.
or not, no, 80 total,
Yeah.
not
So the
annually. Like for 10 years, it was like 80 shootings in the 90s.
Sheesh. But nowadays,
In
it's like,
2000s, it was down to 30. It went down like a significant amount. And in the 2010s, from 2010 to 2020, it's like 231. 200. It's like 200 or like 180. That's what it was. In our current year, we already have like a 231 in the like the first 3 years of 2020 to 2030.
what do you think it boils down to, though? I mean, is it just like. Because I don't know. I feel like a lot of the talk is just to ban the guns.
This
and I feel
is-
like that's going to be.
Goes back to the previous conversation is that we need a reset because these people don't have anything
Oh,
else to do. they don't know what struggle is. That's what a lot of people argue that want the apocalypse is that people
It's
don't know
like
what
Brad
struggle
Pitt said. I'm going to bring up another Brad Pitt quote, bro. It's like in Fight Club, man. We don't have a war. We don't have anything to fight against or anything. Is that what you think the problem is? I don't think that's the problem. But you think that's the problem is?
That's the same in line is that there's no struggle. Yeah, there's no war. There's nothing to build a strong character. But I don't think that. That's just a common talk.
The common talk.
I don't think that.
Yeah, because I'm not voicing my
What I
opinion on
genuinely,
here.
I want to engage with
God,
the
I wanna
conversation
know
because this is a very interesting conversation. And what would genuinely be my opinion of why we're having this? I think it just comes down to
Probably League of Legends.
That's actually true.
Mhm.
It has something to do with the culture. Maybe it not directly because we are like too spoiled and we don't have a war, but I think a lot of the media focuses on things
Yeah. Okay.
that don't matter.
I think too, it's like, okay, if I want to make it big on YouTube, a lot of the stuff I have to do is be controversial. Right? That gets traction. If I put something in the YouTube title that's controversial, then people are going to more likely click on it. Now, whether or not I believe in that at all is just speculation, because I could just be saying anything I want just to say something controversial, right? But that's what people like adhere to. And I think that's one of the main problems is that once that gets the most traction, then you have just all the stuff online being only controversial stuff.
There's an attraction to contrarian things, absolutely.
Most definitely. I have that.
And it's nice.
I have that symptom.
But we need that in our society because then you'll just have one giant echo chamber all the time if you don't have anything going against it. So that's why we want that. But at the same time, you have people pushing to like go against free speech at the same time, saying that.
I still there's a fine line between free speech and free of consequences, in my opinion.
Like what kind of consequences?
There are consequences for what you say.
You can't just say whatever you want.
You can. No, you can. I think you should be able to. Now, I'm not saying you need to be arrested or anything, but like, I think I don't love the whole like cancel culture talking point. It's like, oh, everybody gets canceled now. It's like, well, I mean, if you say something and people don't like it, I'm not saying you should like lose your job. I mean, I guess it depends on what you said, but I'm saying freedom of speech does not guarantee freedom of consequences. Does that make sense?
So you think society should be put up to like?
I'm saying like I'm not saying the government should do something to you, but like
you're saying you're
if
happy with
people come
people
together
losing their jobs.
No, I'm not saying happy. You're using the word happy. I'm saying
Sorry,
if you did lose your job because you said something like you
inflammatory,
used the
yeah,
N-word
it was
or, I don't
something
know,
bad.
just
Yeah,
something,
exactly.
something bad. Like
you
I
think
don't really
you
have an
should
issue with that. I mean,
lose your
this is
job and have an issue with getting
I'm
a
not
job
saying you
for the
should
rest
lose
of
your
life.
job. I'm saying if you do lose your job, I don't have a problem with that.
So if we were to say something controversial,
I mean, are we like capitalists in a free market where like your employer can terminate you based on that? What's wrong with that?
I think we don't we.
I'm just saying a lot of the people
that is
who have
actually
an
a very
issue
good
with
point.
that
We live
also want like a free market where, you know, the government, I don't want them to regulate anything. And I agree with that. I don't think the government should be like shutting down publications that are criticizing it. That's really where freedom of speech comes
The issue
from.
is that it's changing because the stuff was said before and people weren't losing their jobs and companies weren't bailing
But,
out.
I mean,
but
like-
now that there's such a strong social justice push to be against this stuff, now people are losing jobs, losing investors, losing their, like Kanye losing all his stuff. Now, granted, I don't agree with Kanye, but
we don't
still,
stand with Kanye.
the ability to ruin someone's future and current life and future from something that they might have said 10
But
years
see,
ago.
okay, but
I don't
gotta,
think is
I gotta combat you on that
healthy.
though, because
Yeah.
you're saying like the ability to like cancel them, or how did you say it? How did you word it? Like who is canceling them? Like just people?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically you are.
If I go on
because-
Twitter and call you, make a false accusation that you,
I definitely think there
raped me.
should be like a conversation before like somebody just loses all their. For instance, like Jonathan Majors, like he had ads with the military, and this is what I heard. I don't know if this is true or not, but apparently they just like took them down for the time being until this is sorted out and the truth comes out. You know what I mean? I think that's the proper way to do it. That's fine.
but that's
what's wrong
not
with that?
that's not what's popular. It's not about
Oh
when
no,
it comes
I
out.
understand it's not
It's about
popular,
the
and I definitely agree that there are people who take it way too far. I agree
before
with that.
anything actually comes out. That's the issue that
Yes,
I have.
there's just a knee-jerk reaction, especially in like these parasocial relationships with Twitch.
There's a
people
part
or
of
something
what
like
you
that.
said I really
Sure.
agree with, where it should be both sides, where I should be held up for what I said, but at the same time,
I'm just saying, like, it's such a broad
it's a
topic.
it's a
I don't know.
double-edged sword. That's
He's
the
saying we
thing.
should ban guns.
I'm saying if a company, like,
Yeah, how did we
'cause-
get on this?
I
Gotta go
mean, I
back to
guess
guns.
you could argue that, you know, like the brand deals that dropped because of Kanye. Like,
Yeah,
are they not allowed to just do that? Why not? Like, that's not canceling him.
So you're
They're
saying-
not canceling him.
Yeah.
They're dropping it because they know that everybody doesn't like it.
well, it is canceling him. He won't be
You're
able
saying
to.
companies.
He won't have any money to do
Well, he could-
anything
he could
with.
either
from it.
work
but
with
I mean, he has plenty
Well,
of money still.
okay, so there you go. Like, but didn't
Mhm.
I mean, my point is, so like they have to like stick with him, even though he says something like maybe even they disagree with. Maybe there was a Jewish person that was head of
Well, that one, I
whatever
feel like that one's
organization.
easy though because I don't think anyone's agreeing on Kanye.
No, nobody.
Yes,
what I mean?
no one does.
But like, if we were to take someone,
well, that's not true. There are a few.
This
but-
is just a
Yeah,
this
but
is a good
they-
example that happened recently. I can't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of others.
well, I'm thinking of like
Well, there's few with like this
And
gets into
I'm
like
really, like, I
accusations
have
of like the
this-
hashtag Me Too stuff.
I have this
False
opinion, but
accusations will
I'm-
come out,
I'm,
and then
like,
these people have
open-minded
never
about it.
done anything, and then have their lives ruined because they don't like their political views. That's the issue.
Wait, say that one more time.
People, the hashtag Me Too thing. There's
Mm-hmm.
a lot of good things that came from it because it exposed a lot of like bad people in like
Weinstein.
Exactly. But a lot of the time, I don't have any specific examples, but false accusations will come out and the person will get canceled. Their life will be ruined. Their future will be ruined.
I don't like that. I
And
agree
then
that's bad. But
It'll come out that nothing actually happened.
yeah.
That is the issue.
I
have.
agree that
Johnny Depp.
I'm not.
Right.
That is the issue with cancel culture, though. And then we had this
But-
whole
But
this whole
that's
thing with
different
like
than
fact checker.
speech. I mean, like that's different than like freedom of speech. I feel like these
The
are
reason that it
I'm
Then
not
what
saying
do
they're
we-
not
where do we
related.
decide on
the
the
reason
guns?
that these accusations came out is because of what they said. People didn't agree with what they were saying, so they found a way to cancel them because they didn't agree with them. So it might be a political view that you have that might be very strong and might have a good point, and they can't combat the actual political view. So what they do is they attack you directly with some false accusation to get you canceled, so that your voice is basically silenced.
I don't feel like that
That's an
happens
issue.
very often though, but I could be wrong.
I hear about it. I don't want to start getting examples because it's going to be a whole long thing. But
Just
if
say
you
it.
want to
Just
have,
say Justin Roiland. We know you're a big Rick and Morty
Yeah, I
fan.
definitely think
actually,
once
I
that's
didn't
out
follow
there-
that one. The Anzi Azari one, wasn't there one against him?
Sorry.
Yeah, wasn't there one against him?
Yeah, but I would argue
I
he
actually
came back.
reviewed that.
So like that.
I reviewed that one a good
Okay, he
bit.
got like canceled for like a month, and then well, I guess he's not like doing a ton of stuff now. I don't know. I guess he's sort of fallen out of the limelight, but
Did you actually like read what was said and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always text though, isn't it? Of stuff. And like how they
I think
always
if
There
I've
was a-
learned anything,
The
it's that you need to
receipts.
keep receipts for stuff,
Mhm.
and that I agree that like
Hell no, I delete that shit.
that is bad when like it happens. But the thing is like I mean there's both sides of it where it's like either that sort of thing happens that you're complaining about, and I get that that's bad. I agree, but also then it's like, well, I'm not going to say anything because I'm afraid that, or I don't want to like ruin somebody's life, even if they disagree.
We're getting too much in the. I
Yeah,
think
we
should
are.
just
Back
should
to
just
guns.
be like,
Back to the
okay.
guns.
Please,
I
guns.
think
Our president, who I voted for, I don't know if you guys did. You don't have to say. Our president, Joe Biden, asked for a ban on assault rifles. Do you agree or disagree? Yes or no? Vincent,
I really don't know.
make this under 10 seconds, please.
Okay. Will do. No, I don't agree. Majority of shootings don't happen with assault rifles.
Ooh, is that true?
I'm pretty sure. We can look it up.
Okay. I'm not going to look it up. I just believe you. Agree or disagree,
I
Daniel?
really don't know. I've heard
And that's fair.
decent arguments on both sides. The only thing that I'm very staunchly against is lobbying, especially and that includes like the NRA.
Majority of gun
Other
violence
stuff.
that we have is from suicide with guns or gun accidents.
Is that where the statistics you think are rising from then?
Yeah, most statistics that are presented include suicide by gun and accidental death from guns.
That's awful.
And I think that takes up I want to say 60 to 80% of gun deaths is from suicide and accidental gunfire,
Mm-hmm.
not gang violence.
I think we
assault.
should have one state who just bans guns, see what happens.
And we just
California?
shove all you guys in there.
We shove them all in California,
And
and then a
everyone's
big
happy.
earthquake will happen, and it just
No, I mean,
floods off.
I'm not like anti-gun, but I
Bigger
mean
thing.
it's hard not to read these stories and see these faces of these little kids and be
Huge,
like
huge
something needs to
point.
happen, you know.
The point of the Second Amendment being able to rise against a tyrannical government. I've had my
Yeah.
opinion change about this a lot because I find it cringy at first.
Really?
Yes, I found it really bad. I found it a very terrible argument. I was like, you could never go against the government because they have tanks, missiles, they have drones.
They would be
But-
very good against guerrilla warfare, I don't think.
That's what I started to change my opinion on. That's how we lost the Vietnam War. We were
Oh,
so
yeah.
advanced
Well,
beyond them.
did we really technically lose, Vincent?
We got-
because we left before it was decided, right?
I would say the
We
Vietnam
got
War is
destroyed
not
in
something
it.
good to look
Absolutely.
It's like
the
all the
Vietnam
arguments
War
With
is
here.
too
fucking
old.
spiked
There's-
pits, dug spiked pits. Like
Sorry, I was-
basics. Now imagine if the like Vietnam
I
like
think you need to look at
civilians.
the Iraqi War if you really want to know what. It
Yeah,
was.
Iraqi war is a huge
Okay.
guerrilla warfare.
Make-
Now, make that comparison. These other countries don't have their public and their citizens filled to the brim with guns. They don't have millions of guns in their civilian hands. Now, take that to America, where not only do we have millions of guns, I can go online and buy night vision goggles, thermal camo, and a fully automatic, or not fully automatic rifle. I can get a rifle that has a thermal scope and be out in the middle of nowhere and do exactly what I need to in a guerrilla warfare. It is insane our capabilities in America for just a civilian. And I think that needs to stay in the hands.
We don't
as
even
long as-
need the army.
No, I think it needs to stay in the hands because maybe a second Trump comes
I'll be
along
honest.
that's
I think they
worse.
would just drone strike everywhere they thought was a threat, and we would all die. But that's my.
The issue with that is we make the missiles.
Who's we?
The American people.
I guess it depends.
American
Him and
people make
Cole.
It
They're
depends
contracted.
on.
You realize that they're contracted to Americans. Like,
Dude, if they're making
companies.
money, they're
Vincent,
are you gonna start paying
keep-
taxes so they can keep buying missiles? No.
Vincent,
yeah, I
have you and
guess
Cole
we
been
would pay
making missiles
taxes.
here?
You know how much it costs? These missiles cost
They
too.
cost a lot of money.
Like, you can't buy.
You know how much we spend on being the biggest superpower in terms
A
of
lot. How much of our
military might.
fucking tax money goes to the military?
Yeah, I
How much
love
have
that.
we been?
Love that.
Yeah. Fuck
There's
the
a big
schools.
worry that
Yeah.
China's going to start overtaking us now. And, like,
Man, they thought about that with
Power
Russia. They thought about that, man, bro. They can't even ban
so
Overwatch
what do you think,
over
though?
there.
Do you
They-
think we'd stand against, like,
I
if we
really
had a
don't know.
revolution?
As I'm not a military expert. It's hard to say. There's too many moving parts for me to say for sure.
So even though we were losing in Iraq, we lost in Vietnam, these people don't even have guns.
mean,
they
we-
can't
we-
buy what we can.
we didn't lose any of these places. I mean, like you could argue that. I agree, but like we really just pulled out because we're like, this isn't worth it.
Yeah, because we were losing. That's the point. You're losing. You're dumping millions of dollars for them to have
worth,
like.
It's not worth the money and the human life.
Yeah, because we were losing. We're losing so much money
and
trying to be there.
It was very unpopular over here.
What?
I don't know.
Like to be a proponent of it.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean by? Yeah.
To like
definitely.
the war, both of these wars were very unpopular. Well,
Not so much Vietnam, I think, but
Vietnam was super unpopular.
I mean,
Iraqi, maybe.
Iraqi, that's
Maybe
right.
not at first. I
Yeah.
think.
What's
I think it's been flip flop. They're like, there's people
Yeah.
for both. It is very flip flop.
What's everyone's
Anyways.
favorite war?
Okay.
favorite war?
Mine's the Revolutionary.
World War II, I think, was absolutely amazing. I think you can't beat it.
Mhm.
Killing Nazis.
Good
man.
games came from that. You know,
Did you say the
Absolutely.
Revolutionary War?
if that didn't
No,
happen,
he said that.
Oh,
I said
that
World
mixed
War
with
II.
you, and then you said Nazis, and I was like,
No, World War II is.
Who's
insane.
yours? French and Indian, 1812.
you got me.
I'm trying to liven it up, okay?
My favorite war.
While
How about my
Vincent and
favorite
Cole
war
are
to
building
learn about
pipe
was
bombs over
always
here.
World War II.
We're getting ready. Get ready for the revolution.
I can see. Never mind.
Yeah, you can. You definitely see
I
Cole.
can see Cole
You definitely can see Cole.
immediately.
As much as
now.
I
How about
love
this?
him.
It would be a long. Going right back to your thing. This is the last thing I'll say.
I wanna
It'd be a
know his
long,
opinion
drawn-out
on it.
conflict. I don't think it would be decided very easily.
I think
what was
they'd
he
run out of
saying
money.
earlier when he was here? There's something was going off on.
He said, "We're supposed to die. Cancer.
he's
Kill me."
We're not supposed to live forever. We were talking about wearing sunscreen, and he goes off on this huge
It started off
tangent.
with The Last of Us talk about giving up Ellie, how Ellie should have given up. That's what it was based off of. Do you think
Spoilers.
the Second Amendment should stay in place?
Yeah. But my
Why?
president, Joe Biden,
Why do you
Joe
think it should
Biden
stay in
doesn't
place?
think so, so I agree with him.
Why do you think it should stay in place?
And
My
Ariana
president-
Grande doesn't think so, so I agree with her.
Why do you personally not think it should stay in place or should stay in place?
You know, I think it's more of a right to have. It's like a driver's license, sort of. You know.
Why
And
do
I
we have
think-
the right though? Why do you think we
I
should
think
have the
it's-
right?
I think it's in. You know, I think there's a lot of responsible gun owners that I don't know. They shouldn't really be told by a government force whether or not they should have or own those sorts of things.
No, I don't think everyone. Obviously,
I'm not an expert on it though.
I don't think everyone should have a gun, but
But it's like, what do you do? Make it more restricting, and then it's just a whole bunch of like shit that
I think
we
the
just
issue-
bypass anyways. That
Yeah.
I
doesn't
mean, I
matter.
definitely think there should be like a lot of
I mean, you go to the DMV.
Regulation's not really the word I'm looking for. Just like, I don't know.
I think we should take a big part of taxpayer money and invest it into like a mental health analysis for gun ownership.
Where's that tax money going to come from?
Us, my pocket. Actually, everyone else's pocket. But
We gotta have budget cuts for the military if we're gonna do something like that.
yeah.
We're not doing that.
And we're not doing
Sorry.
that. So even
It'll come
even
out from the
leftists don't
public
wanna do that.
schools. Don't worry.
They
Pull
act
some
like
more
they-
money.
Do you think we should spend less on military?
I don't know. Yes,
If I knew
I think
more
so.
about like
Maybe
exactly
a
where the
couple
money was
grand.
going.
we spend more than like the next 5 countries combined. So yes, I do think that.
I was just waiting. Just waiting for y'all.
I mean, I got more. We can fire another one up in the chamber.
We need Cole here.
Yeah, I want to hear
He's gonna
Cole's
be really
opinions.
mad if we talk about guns and he's not involved.
You know what he'd say? He'd say, I think we should bring back dueling. We should just
He
go
would
back to
say
old
that.
West times. If I have an
That
issue
would
with
be
somebody,
pretty
yeah.
Maybe that's what Thomas Jefferson, didn't he die from that?
Yeah, I think so.
Or Hamilton, one of those? I don't know. I didn't watch the play.
Dude, hey,
Anyways.
here's a good one. All right, if we're done, That's fine.
Yeah, we're done.
Okay.
You save it for next month or
No,
whatever.
I want to hear it. I want to get into this.
Yeah,
you're pissing
just
me
leave
off.
off on a joke.
Why
I'm
not
just
pissing
kidding.
you
I'm
off?
just kidding. We're doing great. I just like talking about it.
I think it's important to talk about those sorts of things because I feel like if you don't and you just like stay in your little echo chamber, as you said,
Yeah.
I think that's when you get. Because a lot of the times when I talk about it with y'all or with Cole or with anybody, I feel like I don't really see much of a side of it, mainly because I don't own or operate guns at all. I'm
Mhm.
never around them. So I think it's important for me personally just to get another opinion on someone who's in it, supposedly, unlike me. Even though my stance was just, I don't really care.
I don't know. If someone broke into my house, I want to shoot them. I don't. Absolutely. There's no way I'm risking my life because I don't know what that man has.
Man.
Well, majority of like
I
violent
think most people
crimes.
say you should just like fire shots,
Yeah.
not at them, but
Mhm.
just
Yeah,
Scare
I don't
'em
think
off.
I'd shoot them. I don't have a gun, though, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, what was your joke?
it wasn't a joke. It was a question, a loaded one at that.
Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
just this is
Let's
Do
hear
you
it.
think we should arm teachers?
no.
Ooh, good question.
I don't. I don't.
Um,
I just don't like. Sure, that might like
Only if they're right
stop
leaning.
people, but I don't think it. I don't think a part of being a teacher should be I have to learn how to shoot a gun and protect students. They do not get paid enough for that. Teachers are so.
Out of all my teachers,
Dude, our if nothing else, if I don't have any other opinions, our education system.
if you
is
guys
just
don't pass this test,
screwed up and it is going nowhere.
back in the day they used to
good
have,
quick.
That'd be cool. Start taking tests for gun ownership.
didn't they used to spank children back in the day?
Like you have to take a test to.
And that's super
The
like
problem
left
is
leaning.
that
Like
you
I,
can't really legislate like
private
private sales.
private sales.
But now if
I think
everyone's
that's
just a private
really
school,
probably the issue because
yeah.
like I do think there's decent regulation on like background checks and stuff at like gun stores, but what's to stop you from just letting me have a gun or I give you $100 and you just
Everyone should just carry a gun. Problem solved.
That's when you start getting to like gun registries,
It's a joke.
like in Australia, and then you have a buyback where the government offers you money to buy back the gun from you, and then people do not like that because that takes.
and I get it like
That's what Hitler did.
I
Took the
get that idea
guns out
and
of
also
who?
I feel
Hitler.
like
Took the guns out
we
of
need to be
people's
doing
hands.
something about
so
all
they couldn't
these
rebel.
mass shootings.
You ban pornography.
That's how you take over.
Anyways,
There's like 10 European countries who have stuff like that. And
let's wrap it up, boys.
Yeah, but they don't have 10
not.
dictatorships
wrap
like
it up.
Hitler.
I know that's what you just
But I'm saying
argued
if-
to help my point.
No, I'm saying if there is
You're saying if
A
there is
dictator, yeah.
a dictator, well, yeah, sure, but
like Biden.
you think Biden's a
No,
dictator?
he's not. He's actually good.
He's
I think he's okay.
You voted for him, didn't you?
I didn't vote.
Do you really? Did you really not?
No.
Did you vote?
I was going to. I was going to go vote for him, and then I was like, I
voted
don't
for
want to
him,
get
yeah.
out of my.
It is
seat.
Hey,
shitty.
can I ask y'all this?
Hmm.
You don't have to answer. Who are
I
you gonna
will-
vote for in this next election?
Who's running? Who's my choices?
It's Biden, or unless they kick him out and oh god, I was not like Harris. Or
Kamala
somebody.
Harris.
Or I'm
You did it,
assuming
Joe.
DeSantis or Trump, but Trump might be in jail. I don't know.
Oh yeah, they might.
You think he will go in jail?
He's
got
That'd be so
indicted if he
funny.
was
So many
on
people
that.
want him in jail, so he probably will. You know how the public sways fucking government opinions. So.
Woo!
I just think it's
That'd
funny
be
that
funny.
people are like, well, what about all these other crooked politicians? Lock them up too. Hell yeah.
People are like, well, we shouldn't do that to Hillary or whatever, you know?
It sets a precedent that we hold our politicians accountable. Yeah, we should do that.
Amen, brother.
Anyways,
I'm voting for Biden, whether he's running or not.
I'm not voting for Trump or DeSantis. So if there was anybody, dude, I'd vote for like, who would I vote for?
Who's
on
the
GOP
New
side.
York governor? What's her name?
I don't know. I remember
Super
Comey
left.
back in the day, back in like
Very
2020.
polycharged, very I can't remember.
Did you? I actually watched the video for the. I want to get back to the guns. The Nashville shooting.
Yeah, I did.
We're
I
done with
commented
this
on Discord and I deleted the
conversation.
comment. Anyways, let's
You
wrap this up.
commented on
Wait, did you?
Discord?
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I did. I'll tell you off air.
I'll
Okay.
look at the audit.
He can audit you, buddy.
Yeah,
Get
there's
away
an
with it.
audit log where I can see all things that were posted and deleted.
What were you gonna say?
I was getting Cole riled up. Anyways,
Now I really want to know.
It's not hard.
he said some. It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. Wrap it up. Donkey Kong 64 is the greatest game, and Revolutionary War is the greatest war. And Last of Us, 9 out of 10. Definitely watch it, Vincent. Definitely finish it, and I'm definitely gonna play the game.
Nice.
Anybody else have anything else to say?
The PC port sucks, so you're gonna have to. Oh, you got a PS5. You're
Hell
good.
yeah, it's on
Have you not
PlayStation
played-
Pass. I don't do anything, ever.
That game's gonna take you forever to get through. You're not gonna finish it.
Yeah, I am.
It's like
Fuck you. Now I'm gonna
yes.
finish it.
See, I did that.
There we go.
I don't.
works.
I don't think it's like Resident Evil. Take that back.
That's a good thing to end it on.
It's
Okay.
not.
Alrighty. Bye, everybody.
Yes, it is.
I love you.
Sooner or later it's over. I just don't wanna miss you tonight. And I don't